The philosophy and spirit of the laws. Football is the greatest sport on earth. It is played on every continent, in every country, and at many different levels. The fact that the laws of the game are the same for all football throughout the world, from the FIFA World Cup trademark through to a game between young children in a remote village, is a considerable strength which must continue to be harnessed for the good of football everywhere. Football must have laws which keep the game fair. This is a crucial foundation of the beautiful game and a vital feature of the spirit of the game. The best matches are those where the referee is rarely needed because the players play with respect for each other, the match officials, and the laws. Football's laws are relatively simple compared to most other team sports, but as many situations are subjective and match officials are human, some decisions will inevitably be wrong or cause debate and discussion. For some people, this discussion is part of the game's enjoyment and attraction, but whether decisions are right or wrong, the spirit of the game requires that referees' decisions must always be respected. All those in authority, especially coaches and team captains, have a clear responsibility to the game to respect the match officials and their decisions. The laws cannot deal with every possible situation, so where there is no direct provision in the laws, the IFAB expects the referee to make a decision within the spirit of the game and the laws. This often involves asking the question, what would football one expect? The laws must also contribute to the safety and welfare of players, and it is the IFAB's responsibility to react quickly and appropriately to support the game's participants through the laws themselves when the need arises. For example, a temporary amendment to Law 3 was introduced in response to the COVID-19 pandemic to give top competitions the option of increasing the maximum number of substitutions for each team from 3 to 5. That amendment became part of the laws of the game in 2022. Trials are also continuing with additional concussion substitutes so that teams can prioritize the welfare of a player who has an actual or suspected concussion without suffering a numerical disadvantage. Accidents inevitably occur, but the laws aim to help make the game as safe as possible, balancing player welfare and sporting fairness. This requires referees to use the laws to deal strongly with those players whose actions are too aggressive or dangerous. The laws embody the unacceptability of unsafe play in their disciplinary phrases, such as reckless challenge and endangering the safety of an opponent or using excessive force. To promote a greater understanding of the laws, the IFAB has published Football Rules, Simplified Laws of the Game, which have been written to make the laws easier to understand, especially for young people, potential or newly qualified referees, adults who referee occasionally, players, coaches, spectators, and the media. Visit to access or download Football Rules, which can be sorted alphabetically or by category. Managing changes to the laws. Football must remain attractive and enjoyable for players, match officials, and coaches, as well as spectators, fans, and administrators, regardless of age, gender, race, religion, culture, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or disability. Therefore, for a law to be changed, the IFAB and all its bodies that are involved in the decision-making process must be convinced that the change will benefit the game. This sometimes means that the potential change needs to be tested. For every proposed change, the focus is on fairness, integrity, respect, safety, the enjoyment of participants and spectators, and, where appropriate, using technology to enhance the game. The IFAB will continue to engage with the global football community so that changes to the laws benefit football at all levels and in every corner of the world, and so that the integrity of the game, the laws, and the match officials are respected, valued, and protected. The future. The IFAB will carry on its work with its advisory panels and its extensive consultation efforts, with a continued focus on player welfare, feedback from the concussion substitute trial, and making the game fairer and more attractive to take part in and watch. It is also important to maintain the universality of the laws so that young players can watch matches on television and then go out and try to recreate what they have seen. The IFAB greatly enjoys engaging with people throughout the world, and we are always very pleased to receive suggestions or questions relating to the laws of the game. Indeed, many recent law changes have originated from suggestions from people from many different parts of the world. We hope to engage more easily and extensively in the future, so please check for details on our website. Please continue to send your suggestions, ideas, and questions to lawenquiries@thefab.com. Notes and modifications. Notes on the laws of the game. Official languages. The IFAB publishes the laws of the game in English, French, German, and Spanish. If there is any divergence in the wording, the English text is authoritative. Other languages. National FAs which translate the laws of the game can obtain the layout template for the 2023-24 edition of the laws from the IFAB by contacting info@thefab.com. National FAs which produce a translated version of the laws of the game using this format are invited to send a copy to the IFAB so it can be posted on the IFAB's website for use by others. Measurements. If there is any divergence between metric and imperial units, the metric units are authoritative. Applying the laws. The same laws apply in every match in every confederation, country, town, and village, and, apart from the modifications permitted by the IFAB, the laws must not be modified or changed, except with the permission of the IFAB. Those who are educating match officials and other participants should emphasize that referees should apply the laws within the spirit of the game to help produce fair and safe matches. Everyone must respect the match officials and their decisions, remembering and respecting that referees are human and will make mistakes. Players have a major responsibility for the image of the game, and the team captain should play an important role in helping to ensure that the laws and referees' decisions are respected. Key. The main law changes are underlined in yellow and highlighted in the margin. Editorial changes are underlined. YC equals yellow card, RC equals red card. General modifications. The universality of the laws of the game means that the game is essentially the same in every part of the world and at every level. As well as creating a fair and safe environment in which the game is played, the laws should also promote participation and enjoyment. Historically, the IFAB has allowed national football associations some flexibility to modify the organizational laws for specific categories of football. The IFAB strongly believes that national FAs should be able to modify some aspects of the way football is organized if it will benefit football in their own country. How the game is played and refereed should be the same on every football field in the world, from the FIFA World Cup trademark final to the smallest village. However, the needs of a country's domestic football should determine how long the game lasts, how many people can take part, and how some unfair behavior is punished. All national FAs have the option to modify all or some of the following organizational areas of the laws of the game for football for which they are responsible. For all levels of the game, the number of substitutions each team is permitted to use up to a maximum of 5, except in youth football, where the maximum will be determined by the National Association, Confederation, or FIFA. See also Law 3 for the conditions that apply to matches that go to extra time and details on the restriction on substitution opportunities. For youth, veterans, disability, and grassroots football. Size of the field of play, size, weight, and material of the ball, width between the goalposts and height of the crossbar from the ground, duration of the two halves of the game, the use of return substitutes, the use of temporary dismissals for some all cautions. In addition, to allow national FAs further flexibility to benefit and develop their domestic football, the following changes relating to categories of football are permitted. National FAs, confederations, and FIFA have the flexibility to decide the age restrictions for youth and veterans football. Each national FA will determine which competitions at the lowest levels of football are designated as grassroots football. Permission for other modifications. National FAs have the option to approve different modifications for different competitions. There is no requirement to apply them universally or to apply them all. However, no other modifications are allowed without the permission of the IFAB. National FAs are asked to inform the IFAB of their use of these modifications and at which levels, as this information, and especially the reason why the modifications are being used, may identify development ideas or strategies which the IFAB can share to assist the development of football in other national FAs. The IFAB would also be very interested to hear about other potential modifications to the laws of the game which could increase participation, make football more attractive, and promote its worldwide development. Guidelines for temporary dismissals. The 131 AGM of the IFAB held in London on March 3, 2017 approved the use of temporary dismissals for all or some cautions, yellow cards in youth, veterans, disability, and grassroots football, subject to the approval of the competition's national FA, confederation, or FIFA, whichever is appropriate. Reference to temporary dismissals is found in Law 5, the referee, disciplinary action. The referee has the power to show yellow or red cards and, where competition rules permit, temporarily dismiss a player from entering the field at the start of the match until after the match has ended, including during the halftime interval, extra time, and penalties. A temporary dismissal is when a player commits a cautionable offense and is punished by an immediate suspension from participating in the next part of that match. The philosophy is that an instant punishment can have a significant and immediate positive influence on the behavior of the offending player and, potentially, the player's team. The National FA, Confederation, or FIFA should approve a temporary dismissal protocol within the following guidelines. Players only. Temporary dismissals apply to all players but not for cautionable offenses committed by a substitute or substituted player. Referee's signal. The referee will indicate a temporary dismissal by showing a yellow card and then clearly pointing with both arms to the temporary dismissal area. The temporary dismissal period. The length of the temporary dismissal is the same for all offenses. The length of the temporary dismissal should be between 10–15% of the total playing time. The temporary dismissal period begins when play restarts after the player has left the field of play. The referee should include in the temporary dismissal period any time lost for a stoppage for which additional time will be allowed at the end of the half. Competitions must decide who will help the referee time the dismissal period. It could be the responsibility of a delegate, fourth official, or neutral assistant referee. Conversely, it could be a team official. Once the temporary dismissal period has been completed, the player can return from the touchline with the referee's permission, which can be given while the ball is in play. The referee has the final decision as to when the player can return. A temporarily dismissed player cannot be substituted until the end of the temporary dismissal period. If a temporary dismissal period has not been completed at the end of the first half, the remaining part of the temporary dismissal period is served from the start of the second half. A player who is still serving a temporary dismissal at the end of the match is permitted to take part in penalties. Temporary dismissal area. A temporarily dismissed player should remain within the technical area or with the team's coach technical staff unless warming up. Offenses during a temporary dismissal. A temporarily dismissed player who commits a cautionable or sending off offense during their temporary dismissal period will take no further part in the match and may not be replaced or substituted. Further disciplinary action. Competition's national FAs will decide if temporary dismissals must be reported to the appropriate authorities and whether any further disciplinary action may be taken, e.g. suspension for accumulating a number of temporary dismissals, as with cautions. Temporary dismissal systems. A competition may use one of the following temporary dismissal systems. System A, for all cautions. System B, for some but not all cautions. System A, temporary dismissal for all cautions. All cautions are punished with a temporary dismissal. A player who receives a second caution in the same match will receive a second temporary dismissal and then takes no further part in the match, may be replaced by a substitute at the end of the second temporary dismissal period if the player's team has not used its maximum number of substitutes. System B, temporary dismissal for some but not all cautions. A predefined list of cautionable offenses will be punished by a temporary dismissal. All other cautionable offenses are punished with a caution. A player who has been temporarily dismissed and then receives a caution continues playing. A player who has received a caution and then receives a temporary dismissal can continue playing after the end of the temporary dismissal period. A player who receives a second temporary dismissal in the same match will serve the temporary dismissal and then takes no further part in the match. The player may be replaced by a substitute at the end of the second temporary dismissal period if the player's team has not used its maximum number of substitutes, but a player who has also received a non-temporary dismissal caution may not be replaced or substituted. A player who receives a second caution in the same match will be sent off and takes no further part in the match and may not be replaced substituted. Some competitions may find it valuable to use temporary dismissals only for cautions for offenses relating to inappropriate behavior, e.g. simulation, deliberately delaying the opposing team's restart of the match, dissent or verbal comments or gestures, stopping or interfering with a promising attack by holding, pulling, pushing, or handball kicker, illegally fainting at a penalty kick. Guidelines for return substitutes. Following approval at the 131 AGM of the IFAB held in London on March 3, 2017, the laws of the game now permit the use of return substitutes in youth, veterans, disability, and grassroots football, subject to the approval of the competition's national FA, confederation, or FIFA, whichever is appropriate. Reference to return substitutions is found in Law 3, the players, return substitutions. The use of return substitutions is only permitted in youth, veterans, disability, and grassroots football, subject to the agreement of the National Football Association, Confederation, or FIFA. A return substitute is a player who has already played in the match and has been substituted and later in the match returns to play by replacing another player. Apart from the dispensation for a substituted player to return to play in the match, all other provisions of Law 3 and the laws of the game apply to return substitutes. In particular, the substitution procedure outlined in Law 3 must be followed. Laws of the Game 2023-24. Law 1. The field of play. 1. Field surface. The field of play must be a wholly natural or, if competition rules permit, a wholly artificial playing surface, except where competition rules permit an integrated combination of artificial and natural materials. The color of artificial surfaces must be green. Where artificial surfaces are used in competition matches between representative teams of national football associations affiliated to FIFA or international club competition matches, the surface must meet the requirements of the FIFA Quality Program for football turf, unless special dispensation is given by the IFAB. 2. Field markings. The field of play must be rectangular and marked with continuous lines which must not be dangerous. Artificial playing surface material may be used for the field markings on natural fields if it is not dangerous. These lines belong to the areas of which they are boundaries. Only the lines indicated in Law 1 are to be marked on the field of play. Where artificial surfaces are used, other lines are permitted provided they are a different color and clearly distinguishable from the football lines. The two longer boundary lines are touch lines. The two shorter lines are goal lines. The field of play is divided into two halves by a halfway line, which joins the midpoints of the two touch lines. The center mark is at the midpoint of the halfway line. A circle with a radius of 9.15 m is marked around it. Min 45 m max 90 m goal line corner area. Goal area. Penalty area. 7.32 m. Penalty arc. Penalty mark. Radius 9.15 m. Halfway line center mark. Center circle. 11 m. 9.15 m. 16.5 m. 5.5 m. 16.5 m. 5.5 m. 9.15 m. Optional mark. Radius 1 m. Measurements are from the outside of the lines as the lines are part of the area they enclose. The penalty mark is measured from the center of the mark to the back edge of the goal line. Marks may be made off the field of play 9.15 m from the corner arc at right angles to the goal lines and the touch lines. All lines must be of the same width, which must not be more than 12 centimeters. The goal lines must be of the same width as the goalposts and the crossbar. A player who makes unauthorized marks on the field of play must be cautioned for unsporting behavior. If the referee notices this being done during the match, the player is cautioned when the ball next goes out of play. 3. Dimensions. The touchline must be longer than the goal line. Length, minimum 90 m, maximum 120 m. Length, minimum 45 m, maximum 90 m. Competitions may determine the length of the goal line and touchline within the above dimensions. 4. Dimensions for international matches. Length, minimum 100 m, maximum 110 m. Length, minimum 64 m, maximum 75 m. Competitions may determine the length of the goal line and touchline within the above dimensions. 5. The goal area. Two lines are drawn at right angles to the goal line, 5.5 m from the inside of each goalpost. These lines extend into the field of play for 5.5 m and are joined by a line drawn parallel with the goal line. The area bounded by these lines and the goal line is the goal area. 6. The penalty area. Two lines are drawn at right angles to the goal line, 16.5 m from the inside of each goalpost. These lines extend into the field of play for 16.5 m and are joined by a line drawn parallel with the goal line. The area bounded by these lines and the goal line is the penalty area. Within each penalty area, a penalty mark is made 11 m from the midpoint between the goalposts. An arc of a circle with a radius of 9.15 m from the center of each penalty mark is drawn outside the penalty area. 7. The corner area. The corner area is defined by a quarter circle with a radius of 1 m from each corner flag post drawn inside the field of play. 8. Flag posts. A flag post, at least 1.5 m high, with a non-pointed top and a flag must be placed at each corner. Flag posts may be placed at each end of the halfway line, at least 1 m outside the touchline. 9. The technical area. The technical area relates to matches played in stadiums with a designated sitting area for team officials, substitutes and substituted players as outlined below. The technical area should only extend 1 m on either side of the designated seated area and up to a distance of 1 m from the touchline. Markings should be used to define the area. The number of persons permitted to occupy the technical area is defined by the competition rules. The occupants of the technical area are identified before the start of the match in accordance with the competition rules, must behave in a responsible manner, must remain within its confines except in special circumstances, e.g. a physiotherapist doctor entering the field of play with the referee's permission. To assess an injured player. Only one person at a time is authorized to convey tactical instructions from the technical area. 10. Goals. A goal must be placed on the center of each goal line. A goal consists of two vertical posts equidistant from the corner flag posts and joined at the top by a horizontal crossbar. The goalposts and crossbar must be made of approved material and must not be dangerous. The goalposts and crossbar of both goals must be the same shape, which must be square, rectangular, round, elliptical, or a hybrid of these options. It is recommended that all goals used in an official competition organized under the auspices of FIFA or confederations meet the requirements of the FIFA quality program for football goals. The distance between the inside of the posts is 7.32 m and the distance from the lower edge of the crossbar to the ground is 2.44 m. The position of the goalposts in relation to the goal line must be in accordance with the graphics. The goalposts and the crossbar must be white and have the same width and depth, which must not exceed 12 centimeters. If the crossbar becomes displaced or broken, play is stopped until it has been repaired or replaced in position. Play is restarted with a dropped ball. If it cannot be repaired, the match must be abandoned. A rope or any flexible or dangerous material may not replace the crossbar. Nets may be attached to the goals and the ground behind the goal. They must be properly supported and must not interfere with the goalkeeper. Safety. Goals must be firmly secured to the ground. 11. Goal line technology. GLT systems may be used to verify whether a goal has been scored to support the referee's decision. The use of GLT must be stipulated in the competition rules. The position of the goalposts in relation to the goal line must be in accordance with the graphics below. 7.32m. Principles of GLT. GLT applies solely to the goal line and is only used to determine whether a goal has been scored. The indication of whether a goal has been scored must be immediate and automatically confirmed within 1 second by the GLT system only to the match officials. It may also be sent to the video operation room. Requirements and specifications of GLT. If GLT is used in competition matches, the competition organizers must ensure that the system meets the requirements of the FIFA Quality Program for GLT. Where GLT is used, the referee must test the technology's functionality before the match as set out in the testing manual. If the technology does not function in accordance with the testing manual, the referee must not use the GLT system and must report this to the appropriate authorities. 12. Commercial advertising. No form of commercial advertising, whether real or virtual, is permitted on the field of play, on the ground within the area enclosed by the goal nets, the technical area or the referee review area, or on the ground within 1 m of the boundary lines from the time the teams enter the field of play until they have left it at halftime and from the time the teams re-enter the field of play until the end of the match. Advertising is not permitted on the goals, nets, flag posts or their flags, and no extraneous equipment may be attached to these items. In addition, upright advertising must be at least 1 m from the touchlines, the same distance from the goal line as the depth of the goal net, 1 m from the goal net. 13. Logos and emblems. The reproduction, whether real or virtual, of representative logos or emblems of FIFA, confederations, national football associations, competitions, clubs, or other bodies is forbidden on the field of play, the goal nets in the areas they enclose, the goals, and the flag posts during playing time. They are permitted on the flags on the flag posts. 14. Video assistant referees. In matches using VARs, there must be a video operation room and at least 1 referee review area. Video operation room. The VOR is where the video assistant referee, assistant VAR, and replay operator work. It may be in close to the stadium or in a more distant location. Only authorized persons are permitted to enter the VOR or communicate with the VAR, VAR, and RO during the match. A player, substituted player, or team official who enters the VOR will be sent off. Referee review area. In matches using VARs, there must be at least 1 RRA where the referee undertakes an on-field review. The RRA must be in a visible location outside the field of play clearly marked. A player, substituted player, or team official who enters the RRA will be cautioned. Law 2. The ball. 1. Qualities and measurements. All balls must be spherical, made of suitable material, of a circumference of between 68 centimeters and 70 centimeters, between 410 g and 450 g in weight at the start of the match, of a pressure equal to 0.6, 1.1 atmosphere at sea level. All balls used in matches played in an official competition organized under the auspices of FIFA or confederations must meet the requirements and bear one of the marks of the FIFA Quality Program for footballs. Each mark indicates that the ball has been officially tested and meets the specific technical requirements for that mark, which are additional to the minimum specifications stipulated in Law 2 and must be approved by the IFAB. National FA competitions may require the use of balls bearing one of these marks. In matches played in an official competition organized under the auspices of FIFA, confederations, or national FAs, no form of commercial advertising is permitted on the ball, except for the logo emblem of the competition organizer, and the authorized manufacturer's trademark. The competition regulations may restrict the size and number of such markings. 2. Replacement of a defective ball. If the ball becomes defective, play is stopped and restarted with a dropped ball. If the ball becomes defective at a kickoff, goal kick, corner kick, free kick, penalty kick, or throw-in, the restart is retaken. If the ball becomes defective during a penalty kick or penalties as it moves forward and before it touches a player, crossbar, or goalposts, the penalty kick is retaken. The ball may not be changed during the match without the referee's permission. 3. Additional balls. Additional balls which meet the requirements of Law may second be placed around the field of play, and their use is under the referee's control. Law 3. The players. 1. Number of players. A match is played by 2 teams, each with a maximum of 11 players. 1 must be the goalkeeper. A match may not start or continue if either team has fewer than 7 players. If a team has fewer than 7 players because 1 or more players has deliberately left the field of play, the referee is not obliged to stop play and the advantage may be played. But the match must not resume after the ball has gone out of play if a team does not have the minimum number of 7 players. If the competition rules state that all players and substitutes must be named before kickoff and a team starts a match with fewer than 11 players, only the players and substitutes named on the team list may take part in the match upon their arrival. 2. Number of substitutions. Official competitions. The number of substitutes, up to a maximum of 5, which may be used in any match played in an official competition will be determined by FIFA, the Confederation, or the National Football Association. For men's and women's competitions involving the 1 teams of clubs in the top division or senior international teams where competition rules permit a maximum of 5 substitutes to be used, each team has a maximum of 3 substitution opportunities, may additionally make substitutions at halftime. Where both teams make a substitution at the same time, this will count as a used substitution opportunity for both teams. Multiple substitutions by a team during the same stoppage in play count as 1 used substitution opportunity. Extra time. If a team has not used the maximum number of substitutes and/or substitution opportunities, any unused substitutes and substitution opportunities may be used in extra time where competition rules permit teams to use 1 additional substitute in extra time. Each team will have 1 additional substitution opportunity. Substitutions may also be made in the period between full time and the start of extra time, and at halftime and extra time these do not count as used substitution opportunities. The competition rules must state how many substitutes may be named, from 3 to a maximum of 15, whether 1 additional substitute may be used when a match goes into extra time. Other matches. In senior international team matches, a maximum of 15 substitutes may be named, of which a maximum of 6 may be used. In all other matches, a greater number of substitutes may be used provided that the teams reach agreement on a maximum number. The referee is informed before the match. If the referee is not informed, or if no agreement is reached before the match, each team is allowed a maximum of 6 substitutes. Return substitutions. The use of return substitutions is only permitted in youth, veterans, disability, and grassroots football, subject to the agreement of the National Football Association, Confederation, or FIFA. 3. Substitution procedure. The names of the substitutes must be given to the referee before the start of the match. Any substitute not named by this time may not take part in the match. To replace a player with a substitute, the following must be observed. The referee must be informed before any substitution is made. The player being substituted receives the referee's permission to leave the field of play, unless already off the field, and must leave by the nearest point on the boundary line unless the referee indicates that the player may leave directly and immediately at the halfway line, or another point must go immediately to the technical area or dressing room and takes no further part in the match, except where return substitutions are permitted. If a player who is to be substituted refuses to leave, play continues. The substitute only enters during a stoppage in play at the halfway line after the player being replaced has left after receiving a signal from the referee. The substitution is completed when a substitute enters the field of play. From that moment, the replaced player becomes a substituted player and the substitute becomes a player and can take any restart. All substituted players and substitutes are subject to the referee's authority, whether they play or not. 4. Changing the goalkeeper. Any of the players may change places with the goalkeeper if the referee is informed before the change is made. The change is made during a stoppage in play. 5. Offenses and sanctions. If a named substitute starts a match instead of a named player and the referee is not informed of this change, the referee allows the named substitute to continue playing. No disciplinary action may be taken against the named substitute. The named player can become a named substitute. The number of substitutions is not reduced. The referee reports the incident to the appropriate authorities. If a substitution is made during the halftime interval or before extra time, the procedure must be completed before the match restarts. If the referee is not informed, the named substitute may continue to play, no disciplinary action is taken, and the matter is reported to the appropriate authorities. If a player changes places with the goalkeeper without the referee's permission, the referee allows play to continue. Cautions both players when the ball is next out of play, but not if the change occurred during halftime or the period between the end of the match and the start of extra time and/or penalties. For any other offenses, the players are cautioned. Play is restarted with an indirect free kick from the position of the ball when play was stopped. 6. Players and substitutes send off. A player who is sent off before submission of the team list cannot be named on the team list in any capacity after being named on the team list, and before kickoff may be replaced by a named substitute who cannot be replaced. The number of substitutions the team can make is not reduced after the kickoff cannot be replaced. A named substitute who is sent off before or after the kickoff may not be replaced. 7. Extra persons on the field of play. The coach and other officials named on the team list are team officials. Anyone not named on the team list as a player, substitute, or team official is an outside agent. If a team official, substituted or send-off player or outside agent enters the field of play, the referee must only stop play if there is interference with play, have the person removed when play stops, take appropriate disciplinary action if play is stopped and the interference was by a team official, substituted or send-off player, play restarts with a direct free kick or penalty kick, an outside agent, play restarts with a dropped ball. If a ball is going into the goal and the interference does not prevent a defending player playing the ball, the goal is awarded if the ball enters the goal unless the interference was by the attacking team. 8. Player outside the field of play. If a player who requires the referee's permission to re-enter the field of play re-enters without the referee's permission, the referee must stop play, caution the player for entering the field of play without permission. If the referee stops play, it must be restarted with a direct free kick from the position of the interference, with an indirect free kick from the position of the ball when play was stopped if there was no interference. A player who crosses a boundary line as part of a playing movement does not commit an offense. 9. Goal scored with an extra person on the field of play. If, after a goal is scored, the referee realizes, before play restarts, that an extra person was on the field of play when the goal was scored and that person interfered with play, the referee must disallow the goal if the extra person was a player, substituted player, send-off player, or team official of the team that scored the goal. Play is restarted with a direct free kick from the position of the extra person and outside agent who interfered with play unless a goal results as outlined above and extra persons on the field of play. Play is restarted with a dropped ball. The referee must allow the goal if the extra person was a player, substituted player, send-off player, or team official of the team that conceded the goal, an outside agent who did not interfere with play. In all cases, the referee must have the extra person removed from the field of play. If, after a goal is scored and play has restarted, the referee realizes an extra person was on the field of play when the goal was scored, the goal cannot be disallowed. If the extra person is still on the field, the referee must stop play, have the extra person removed, restart with a dropped ball or free kick as appropriate. The referee must report the incident to the appropriate authorities. 10. Team captain. The team captain has no special status or privileges but has a degree of responsibility for the behavior of the team. Law 4. The player's equipment. 1. Safety. A player must not use equipment or wear anything that is dangerous. All items of jewelry are forbidden and must be removed. Using tape to cover jewelry is not permitted. The players must be inspected before the start of the match and substitutes before they enter the field of play. If a player is wearing or using unauthorized dangerous equipment or jewelry, the referee must order the player to remove the item. Leave the field of play at the next stoppage if the player is unable or unwilling to comply. A player who refuses to comply or wears the item again must be cautioned. 2. Compulsory equipment. The compulsory equipment of a player comprises the following separate items. A shirt with sleeves, short socks, tape, or any material applied or worn externally must be the same color as that part of the sock it is applied to, or covers shin guards. These must be made of a suitable material to provide reasonable protection and covered by the sock's footwear. Goalkeepers may wear tracksuit bottoms. A player whose footwear or shin guard is lost accidentally must replace it as soon as possible and no later than when the ball next goes out of play. If before doing so the player plays the ball and or scores a goal, the goal is awarded. 3. Colors. The two teams must wear colors that distinguish them from each other, and the match officials, each goalkeeper must wear colors that are distinguishable from the other players and the match officials if the two goalkeepers' shirts are the same color and neither has another shirt. The referee allows the match to be played. Undershirts must be a single color which is the same color as the main color of the shirt sleeve, or a pattern colors which exactly replicate the shirt sleeve. Undershorts tights must be the same color as the main color of the shorts or the lowest part of the shorts. Players of the same team must wear the same color. 4. Other equipment. Non-dangerous protective equipment, for example headgear, face masks, and knee and arm protectors made of soft, lightweight padded material is permitted, as are goalkeepers' caps and sports spectacles. Head covers. Where head covers are worn, they must be black or the same main color as the shirt, be in keeping with the professional appearance of the player's equipment, not be attached to the shirt. Not be dangerous to the player wearing it or any other player, not have any part extending out from the surface. Electronic communication. Players are not permitted to wear or use any form of electronic or communication equipment. The use of any form of electronic communication by team officials is permitted where it directly relates to player welfare or safety or for tactical coaching reasons, but only small, mobile, handheld equipment may be used. A team official who uses unauthorized equipment or who behaves in an inappropriate manner as a result of the use of electronic or communication equipment will be sent off. Electronic performance and tracking systems. Where wearable technology as part of electronic performance and tracking systems is used in matches played in an official competition organized under the auspices of FIFA, confederations, or national football associations. The competition organizer must ensure that the technology attached to the player's equipment is not dangerous and meets the requirements for wearable EPTS under the FIFA Quality Program for EPTS. Where EPTS are provided by the match or competition organizer, it is the responsibility of that match or competition organizer to ensure that the information and data transmitted from EPTS to the technical area during matches played in an official competition are reliable and accurate. The FIFA Quality Program for EPTS supports competition organizers with the approval process of reliable and accurate electronic performance and tracking systems. 5. Slogans, statements, images, and advertising. Equipment must not have any political, religious, or personal slogans, statements, or images. Players must not reveal undergarments that show political, religious, personal slogans, statements, or images, or advertising other than the manufacturer's logo. For any offense, the player and/or the team will be sanctioned by the competition organizer, National Football Association, or by FIFA. Principles. Law 4 applies to all equipment worn by players, substitutes, and substituted players. Its principles also apply to all team officials in the technical area. The following are permitted: the player's number, name, team crest, logo, initiative, slogans, emblems promoting the game of football, respect and integrity, as well as any advertising permitted by competition rules or national FA, confederation, or FIFA regulations. The facts of a match, teams, date, competition event, venue. Permitted slogans, statements, or images should be confined to the shirt front and/or armband. In some cases, the slogan, statement, or image might only appear on the captain's armband. Interpreting the law. When interpreting whether a slogan, statement, or image is permissible, note should be taken of Law 12, which requires the referee to take action against a player who is guilty of using offensive, insulting, or abusive language and/or action acting in a provocative, derisory, or inflammatory way. Any slogan, statement, or image which falls into any of these categories is not permitted. Whilst religious and personal are relatively easily defined, political is less clear, but slogans, statements, or images related to the following are not permitted: any person, living or dead, any local, regional, national, or international political party, organization, group, etc. Any local, regional, or national government or any of its departments, offices, or functions, any organization which is discriminatory, any organization whose aims, actions are likely to offend a notable number of people, any specific political act, event. When commemorating a significant national or international event, the sensibilities of the opposing team and the general public should be carefully considered. Competition rules may contain further restrictions, limitations, particularly in relation to the size, number, and position of permitted slogans, statements, and images. It is recommended that disputes relating to slogans, statements, or images be resolved prior to a match competition taking place. 6. Offenses and sanctions. For any offense, play need not be stopped and the player is instructed by the referee to leave the field of play to correct the equipment leaves when play stops, unless the equipment has already been corrected. A player who leaves the field of play to correct or change equipment must have the equipment checked by a match official before being allowed to re-enter. Only re-enter with the referee's permission. A player who enters without permission must be cautioned, and if play is stopped, to issue the caution. An indirect free kick is awarded from the position of the ball when play was stopped, unless there was interference, in which case a direct free kick is awarded from the position of the interference. Law 5. The referee. 1. The authority of the referee. Each match is controlled by a referee who has full authority to enforce the laws of the game in connection with the match. 2. Decisions of the referee. Decisions will be made to the best of the referee's ability according to the laws of the game and the spirit of the game, and will be based on the opinion of the referee, who has the discretion to take appropriate action within the framework of the laws of the game. The decisions of the referee regarding facts connected with play, including whether or not a goal is scored and the result of the match, are final. The decisions of the referee, and all other match officials, must always be respected. The referee may not change a restart decision on realizing that it is incorrect or on the advice of another match official if play has restarted or the referee has signaled the end of the first or second half and left the field of play or abandoned the match. However, if at the end of the half, the referee leaves the field of play to go to the referee review area or to instruct the players to return to the field of play, this does not prevent a decision being changed for an incident which occurred before the end of the half. Except as outlined in Law 12.3 and the VAR protocol, a disciplinary sanction may only be issued after play has restarted if another match official had identified and attempted to communicate the offense to the referee before play restarted. The restart associated with the sanction does not apply. If a referee is incapacitated, play may continue under the supervision of the other match officials until the ball is next out of play. 3. Powers and duties. The referee enforces the laws of the game, controls the match in cooperation with the other match officials, acts as timekeeper, keeps a record of the match, and provides the appropriate authorities with a match report, including information on disciplinary action and any other incidents that occurred before, during, or after the match, supervises and/or indicates the restart of play. Advantage allows play to continue when an offense occurs, and the non-offending team will benefit from the advantage, and penalizes the offense if the anticipated advantage does not ensue at that time or within a few seconds. Disciplinary action punishes the more serious offense in terms of sanction, restart, physical severity, and tactical impact. When more than one offense occurs at the same time, takes disciplinary action against players guilty of cautionable and sending off offenses, has the authority to take disciplinary action from entering the field of play for the pre-match inspection until leaving the field of play after the match ends. If, before entering the field of play at the start of the match, a player commits a sending-off offense, the referee has the authority to prevent the player taking part in the match. The referee will report any other misconduct, has the power to show yellow or red cards, and, where competition rules permit, temporarily dismiss a player from entering the field of play at the start of the match until after the match has ended, including during the halftime interval. Extra time and penalties takes action against team officials who fail to act in a responsible manner and warns or shows a yellow card for a caution or a red card for a sending off from the field of play and its immediate surrounds, including the technical area. If the offender cannot be identified, the senior coach present in the technical area will receive the sanction. A medical team official who commits a sending-off offense may remain if the team has no other medical person available, and act if a player needs medical attention, acts on the advice of other match officials regarding incidents that the referee has not seen. Injuries allows play to continue until the ball is out of play if a player is only slightly injured, stops play if a player is seriously injured, and ensures that the player is removed from the field of play. An injured player may not be treated on the field of play and may only re-enter after play has restarted. If the ball is in play, re-entry must be from the touchline, but if the ball is out of play, it may be from any boundary line. Exceptions to the requirement to leave the field of play are only when a goalkeeper is injured. A goalkeeper and an outfield player have collided and need attention. Players from the same team have collided and need attention. A severe injury has occurred. A player is injured as the result of a physical offense for which the opponent is cautioned or sent off. If the assessment treatment is completed quickly, a penalty kick has been awarded and the injured player will be the kicker. Ensures that any player bleeding leaves the field of play. The player may only re-enter on receiving a signal from the referee, who must be satisfied that the bleeding has stopped and there is no blood on the equipment if the referee has authorized the doctors and/or stretcher bearers to enter the field of play. The player must leave on a stretcher or on foot. A player who does not comply must be cautioned for unsporting behavior. If the referee has decided to caution or send off a player who is injured and has to leave the field of play for treatment, the card must be shown before the player leaves if play has not been stopped for another reason. Or if an injury suffered by a player is not the result of an offense, play is restarted with a dropped ball. Outside interference stops, suspends, or abandons the match for any offenses or because of outside interference, e.g. if the floodlights are inadequate. An object thrown by a spectator hits a match official, a player, or team official, the referee may allow the match to continue or stop. Suspend or abandon it depending on the severity of the incident. A spectator blows a whistle which interferes with play. Play is stopped and restarted with a dropped ball. An extra ball, other object, or animal enters the field of play during the match. The referee must stop play only if it interferes with play, unless the ball is going into the goal and the interference does not prevent a defending player playing the ball. The goal is awarded if the ball enters the goal unless the interference was by the attacking team. Allow play to continue if it does not interfere with play and have it removed at the earliest possible opportunity. Allows no unauthorized persons to enter the field of play. 4. Video assistant referee. The use of video assistant referees is only permitted where the match competition organizer has fulfilled all implementation assistance and approval program requirements as set out in FIFA's IAP documents and has received written permission from FIFA. The referee may be assisted by a video assistant referee only in the event of a clear and obvious error or serious missed incident in relation to goal, no goal, penalty, no penalty, direct red card, mistaken identity when the referee cautions or sends off the wrong player of the offending team. The assistance from the video assistant referee will relate to using replay of the incident. The referee will make the final decision, which may be based solely on the information from the VAR and/or the referee reviewing the replay footage directly. Except for a serious missed incident, the referee must always make a decision. This decision does not change unless it is a clear and obvious error. Reviews after play has restarted. If play has stopped and restarted, the referee may only undertake a review and take the appropriate disciplinary sanction for mistaken identity or for a potential sending off offense relating to violent conduct, spitting, biting, or extremely offensive, insulting, and/or abusive action. 5. Referees equipment, compulsory equipment. Referees must have the following equipment: whistle, watch, red and yellow cards, notebook. Other equipment. Referees may be permitted to use equipment for communicating with other match officials, buzzer, beep, flags, headsets, etc. EPTS or other fitness monitoring equipment. Referees and other on-field match officials are prohibited from wearing jewelry or any other electronic equipment, including cameras. 6. Referee signals. Refer to graphics for approved referee signals. Indirect free kick, goal kick, offside, penalty kick, direct free kick, corner kick, goal kick, red and yellow card. Check ear to ear, other hand arm extend, check, finger to ear, other hand arm extended. Review, TV signal, review, TV signal. 7. Liability of match officials. A referee or other match official is not held liable for any kind of injury suffered by a player, official, or spectator, any damage to property of any kind, any other loss suffered by any individual, club, company, association, or other body, which is due or which may be due to any decision taken under the terms of the laws of the game or in respect of the normal procedures required to hold, play, and control a match. Such decisions may include a decision that the condition of the field of play or its surrounds, or that the weather conditions are such as to allow or not to allow a match to take place, to abandon a match for whatever reason, as to the suitability of the field equipment and ball used during a match, to stop or not to stop a match due to spectator interference or any problem in spectator areas, to stop or not to stop play, to allow an injured player to be removed from the field of play for treatment, to require an injured player to be removed from the field of play for treatment, to allow or not to allow a player to wear certain clothing or equipment where the referee has the authority, to allow or not to allow any persons to be present in the vicinity of the field of play, any other decision taken in accordance with the laws of the game or in conformity with their duties under the terms of FIFA, Confederation, National Football Association, or competition rules or regulations under which the match is played. Law 6. The other match officials. Other match officials and at least one assistant VAR may be appointed to matches. They will assist the referee in controlling the match in accordance with the laws of the game, but the final decision will always be taken by the referee. The referee, assistant referees, fourth official, additional assistant referees, and reserve assistant referee are the on-field match officials. The VAR and AVAR are the video match officials and assist the referee in accordance with the laws of the game and the VAR protocol. The match officials operate under the direction of the referee. In the event of undue interference or improper conduct, the referee will relieve them of their duties and make a report to the appropriate authorities. The other on-field match officials assist the referee with offenses when they have a clearer view than the referee, and they must submit a report to the appropriate authorities on any serious misconduct or other incident that occurred out of the view of the referee and the other match officials. They must advise the referee and other match officials of any report being made. The on-field match officials assist the referee with inspecting the field of play, the balls and players' equipment, and maintaining records of time, goals, misconduct, etc. Competition rules must state clearly who replaces a match official who is unable to start or continue, and any associated changes. In particular, it must be clear whether, if the referee is unable to start or continue, the fourth official or the senior assistant referee or senior additional assistant referee takes over. 1. Assistant referees. They indicate when the whole of the ball leaves the field of play and which team is entitled to a corner kick, goal kick, or throw in a player in an offside position may be penalized. A substitution is requested at penalty kicks. The goalkeeper moves off the goal line before the ball is kicked, and if the ball crosses the line, if additional assistant referees have been appointed, the assistant referee takes a position in line with the penalty mark. The assistant referee's assistance also includes monitoring the substitution procedure. The assistant referee may enter the field of play to help control the 9.15 m distance. 2. Fourth official. The fourth official's assistance also includes supervising the substitution procedure, checking a player's substitutes equipment, the re-entry of a player following a signal approval from the referee, supervising the replacement balls, indicating the minimum amount of additional time the referee intends to play at the end of each half, informing the referee of irresponsible behavior by any technical area occupant. 3. Additional assistant referees. The additional assistant referees may indicate when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, including when a goal is scored, which team is entitled to a corner kick or goal kick, whether, at penalty kicks, the goalkeeper moves off the goal line before the ball is kicked, and if the ball crosses the line. 4. Reserve assistant referee. A reserve assistant referee may replace an assistant referee, fourth official, or additional assistant referee who is unable to continue, and may also assist the referee in the same way as the other on-field match officials. 5. Video match officials. A video assistant referee is a match official who may assist the referee to make a decision using replay footage only for a clear and obvious error or serious missed incident relating to a goal, no goal, penalty, no penalty, direct red card, or a case of mistaken identity when the referee cautions or sends off the wrong player of the offending team. An assistant video assistant referee is a match official who helps the VAR primarily by watching the television footage while the VAR is busy with a check or a review, keeping a record of VAR-related incidents and any communication or technology problems, assisting the VAR's communication with the referee, especially communicating with the referee when the VAR is undertaking a check review, e.g. to tell the referee to stop play or delay the restart, etc. Recording the time lost when play is delayed for a check or a review, communicating information about a VAR-related decision to relevant parties. Free kick for attacking team. Substitution. Free kick for defending team. Free kick. Corner 1. 2. 2. 1. 6. Assistant referee signals refer to graphics for approved assistant referee signals. Throw in for defending team. Throw in for attacking team. Goal kick. Offside. Penalty kick. Offside in the middle of the field. Offside. Offside on the near side of the field. Offside on the far side of the field. 2C 2B. 1. 2A. Goal. 7. Additional assistant referee signals. Law 7. 1. Periods of play. A match lasts for 2 equal halves of 45 minutes, which may only be reduced if agreed between the referee and the two teams before the start of the match and if in accordance with competition rules. 2. Halftime interval. Players are entitled to an interval at halftime, not exceeding 15 minutes. A short drinks break is permitted at the interval of halftime and extra time. Competition rules must state the duration of the halftime interval, and it may be altered only with the referee's permission. 3. Allowance for time lost. Allowance is made by the referee in each half for all playing time lost in that half through. Substitutions. Assessment and/or removal of injured players wasting time, disciplinary sanctions, medical stoppages permitted by competition rules, e.g. drinks breaks and cooling breaks, delays relating to VAR checks and reviews, goal celebrations, any other cause, including any significant delay to a restart. The duration of the match. The fourth official indicates the minimum additional time decided by the referee at the end of the final minute of each half. The additional time may be increased by the referee but not reduced. The referee must not compensate for a timekeeping error during the first half by changing the length of the second half. 4. Penalty kick. If a penalty kick has to be taken or retaken, the half is extended until the penalty kick is completed. 5. Abandoned match. An abandoned match is replayed unless the competition rules or organizers determine otherwise. Law 8. LAWSOF, the game 202-324. A kickoff starts both halves of a match, both halves of extra time, and restarts play after a goal has been scored. Free kicks, penalty kicks, throw-ins, goal kicks, and corner kicks are other restarts. A dropped ball is the restart when the referee stops play, and the law does not require one of the above restarts. If an offense occurs when the ball is not in play, this does not change how play is restarted. 1. Kickoff procedure. The referee tosses a coin, and the team that wins the toss decides which goal to attack in the first half or to take the kickoff, depending on the above. Their opponents take the kickoff or decide which goal to attack in the first half. The team that decided which goal to attack in the first half takes the kickoff to start the second half. For the second half, the teams change ends and attack the opposite goals after a team scores a goal. The kickoff is taken by their opponents. For every kickoff, all players, except the player taking the kickoff, must be in their own half of the field of play. The opponents of the team taking the kickoff must be at least 9.15 m from the ball until it is in play. The ball must be stationary on the center mark. The referee gives a signal. The ball is in play when it is kicked and clearly moves. The start and restart of play. A goal may be scored directly against the opponents from the kickoff. If the ball directly enters the kicker's goal, a corner kick is awarded to the opponents. Offenses and sanctions. If the player taking the kickoff touches the ball again before it has touched another player, an indirect free kick, or for a handball offense, a direct free kick, is awarded. In the event of any other kickoff procedure offense, the kickoff is retaken. 2. Dropped ball procedure. The ball is dropped for the defending team goalkeeper in their penalty area if, when play was stopped, the ball was in the penalty area or the last touch of the ball was in the penalty area. In all other cases, the referee drops the ball for one player of the team that last touched the ball at the position where it last touched a player, an outside agent, or, as outlined in Law 9.1, a match official. All other players must remain at least 4 m from the ball until it is in play. The ball is in play when it touches the ground. Offenses and sanctions: the ball is dropped again if it touches a player before it touches the ground, leaves the field of play after it touches the ground, without touching a player. If a dropped ball enters the goal without touching at least two players, play is restarted with a goal kick if it enters the opponent's goal, a corner kick if it enters the team's goal. Law 9. LAWSOF, the game 202-324. 1. Ball out of play. The ball is out of play when it has wholly passed over the goal line or touchline on the ground, or in the air. Play has been stopped by the referee. It touches a match official, remains on the field of play, and a team starts a promising attack, or the ball goes directly into the goal, or the team in possession of the ball changes. In all these cases, play is restarted with a dropped ball. 2. Ball in play. The ball is in play at all other times when it touches a match official and when it rebounds off a goalpost, crossbar, or corner flag post and remains on the field of play. The ball in and out of play. Law 10. Determining the outcome of a match. 1. Goal scored. A goal is scored when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, between the goalposts and under the crossbar, provided that no offense has been committed by the team scoring the goal. If the goalkeeper throws the ball directly into the opponent's goal, a goal kick is awarded. If a referee signals a goal before the ball has passed wholly over the goal line, play is restarted with a dropped ball. 2. Winning team. The team scoring the greater number of goals is the winner. If both teams score no goals or an equal number of goals, the match is drawn. When competition rules require a winning team after a drawn match or home and away tie, the only permitted procedures to determine the winning team are: away goals rule. 2 equal periods of extra time not exceeding 15 minutes each. Penalties. A combination of the above procedures may be used. 3. Penalties. Penalties are taken after the match has ended, and unless otherwise stated, the relevant laws of the game apply. A player who has been sent off during the match is not permitted to take part. Warnings and cautions issued to players and team officials during the match are not carried forward into penalties. No goal. Goal. No goal. Goal. Procedure. Before penalties start, unless there are other considerations, the referee tosses a coin to decide the goal at which the kicks will be taken, which may only be changed for safety reasons, or if the goal or playing surface becomes unusable, the referee tosses a coin again, and the team that wins the toss decides whether to take the first or second kick, with the exception of a substitute for a goalkeeper who is unable to continue. Only players who are on the field of play or are temporarily off the field of play at the end of the match are eligible to take kicks. Each team is responsible for selecting from the eligible players the order in which they will take the kicks. The referee is not informed of the order if at the end of the match and before or during the kicks one team has a greater number of players than its opponents. It must reduce its numbers to the same number as its opponents, and the referee must be informed of the name and number of each player excluded. Any excluded player is not eligible to take part in the kicks. A goalkeeper who is unable to continue before or during the kicks may be replaced by a player excluded to equalize the number of players, or, if their team has not used its maximum permitted number of substitutes, a named substitute, but the replaced goalkeeper takes no further part and may not take a kick. If the goalkeeper has already taken a kick, the replacement may not take a kick until the next round of kicks. During penalties, only eligible players and match officials are permitted to remain on the field of play. All eligible players, except the player taking the kick and the 2 goalkeepers, must remain within the center circle. The goalkeeper of the kicker must remain on the field of play, outside the penalty area, on the goal line where it meets the penalty area boundary line. An eligible player may change places with the goalkeeper. The kick is completed when the ball stops moving, goes out of play, or the referee stops play for any offense. The kicker may not play the ball a second time. The referee keeps a record of the kicks if the goalkeeper commits an offense and, as a result, the kick is retaken. The goalkeeper is warned for the first offense and cautioned for any subsequent offense if the kicker is penalized for an offense committed after the referee has signaled for the kick to be taken. That kick is recorded as missed, and the kicker is cautioned if both the goalkeeper and the kicker commit an offense at the same time. The kick is recorded as missed and the kicker is cautioned. Subject to the conditions explained below, both teams take 5 kicks. The kicks are taken alternately by the teams. Each kick is taken by a different player, and all eligible players must take a kick before any player can take a second kick. If, before both teams have taken 5 kicks, one has scored more goals than the other could score. Even if it were to complete its 5 kicks, no more kicks are taken if, after both teams have taken 5 kicks, the scores are level. Kicks continue until one team has scored a goal more than the other from the same number of kicks. The above principle continues for any subsequent sequence of kicks, but a team may change the order of kickers. Penalties must not be delayed for a player who leaves the field of play. The player's kick will be forfeited if the player does not return in time to take a kick. Substitutions and sendings off during penalties. A player, substituted player or team official may be cautioned or send off. A goalkeeper who is sent off must be replaced by an eligible player. A player other than the goalkeeper who is unable to continue may not be replaced. The referee must not abandon the match if a team is reduced to fewer than 7 players. Law 11. LAWSOF, the game 202-324. 1. Offside position. It is not an offense to be in an offside position. A player is in an offside position if any part of the head, body, or feet is in the opponent's half and any part of the head, body, or feet is nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent. The hands and arms of all players, including the goalkeepers, are not considered. For the purposes of determining offside, the upper boundary of the arm is in line with the bottom of the armpit. A player is not in an offside position if level with the second last opponent or last 2 opponents. 2. Offside offense. A player in an offside position at the moment the ball is played or touched by a teammate is only penalized on becoming involved in active play by interfering with play by playing or touching a ball passed or touched by a teammate, or interfering with an opponent by preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball by clearly obstructing the opponent's line of vision or challenging an opponent for the ball, or the first point of contact of the play or touch of the ball should be used. Offside. Clearly attempting to play a ball which is close when this action impacts on an opponent, or making an obvious action which clearly impacts on the ability of an opponent to play the ball. Or gaining an advantage by playing the ball or interfering with an opponent when it has rebounded or been deflected off the goalpost, crossbar, match official, or an opponent been deliberately saved by any opponent. A player in an offside position receiving the ball from an opponent who deliberately played the ball, including by deliberate handball, is not considered to have gained an advantage, unless it was a deliberate save by any opponent. Deliberate play is when a player has control of the ball with the possibility of passing the ball to a teammate, gaining possession of the ball, or clearing the ball. If the pass, attempt to gain possession or clearance by the player in control of the ball is inaccurate or unsuccessful, this does not negate the fact that the player deliberately played the ball. The following criteria should be used, as appropriate, as indicators that a player was in control of the ball and, as a result, can be considered to have deliberately played the ball. The ball traveled from distance and the player had a clear view of it. The ball was not moving quickly. The direction of the ball was not unexpected. The player had time to coordinate their body movement, i.e. it was not a case of instinctive stretching or jumping, or a movement that achieved limited contact control. A ball moving on the ground is easier to play than a ball in the air. A save is when a player stops, or attempts to stop, a ball which is going into or very close to the goal with any part of the body except the hands, arms. In situations where a player moving from, or standing in, an offside position is in the way of an opponent and interferes with the movement of the opponent towards the ball, this is an offside offense if it impacts on the ability of the opponent to play or challenge for the ball. If the player moves into the way of an opponent and impedes the opponent's progress, the offense should be penalized under Law 12. A player in an offside position is moving towards the ball with the intention of playing the ball and is fouled before playing or attempting to play the ball, or challenging an opponent for the ball. The foul is penalized as it has occurred before the offside offense. An offense is committed against a player in an offside position who is already playing or attempting to play the ball, or challenging an opponent for the ball. The offside offense is penalized as it has occurred before the foul challenge. 3. No offense. There is no offside offense if a player receives the ball directly from a goal kick, a throw in, a corner kick. 4. Offenses and sanctions. If an offside offense occurs, the referee awards an indirect free kick where the offense occurred, including if it is in the player's own half of the field of play. A defending player who leaves the field of play without the referee's permission will be considered to be on the goal line or touchline for the purposes of offside until the next stoppage in play, or until the defending team has played the ball towards the halfway line and it is outside its penalty area. If the player left the field of play deliberately, the player must be cautioned when the ball is next out of play. An attacking player may step or stay off the field of play not to be involved in active play. If the player re-enters from the goal line and becomes involved in play before the next stoppage in play, or the defending team has played the ball towards the halfway line and it is outside its penalty area, the player will be considered to be positioned on the goal line for the purposes of offside. A player who deliberately leaves the field of play and re-enters without the referee's permission and is not penalized for offside and gains an advantage must be cautioned. If an attacking player remains stationary between the goalposts and inside the goal as the ball enters the goal, a goal must be awarded unless the player commits an offside offense or a Law 12 offense, in which case play is restarted with an indirect or direct free kick. Law 12. LAWSOF, the game 202-324. Direct and indirect free kicks and penalty kicks can only be awarded for offenses committed when the ball is in play. 1. Direct free kick. A direct free kick is awarded if a player commits any of the following offenses against an opponent in a manner considered by the referee to be careless, reckless, or using excessive force. Charges jumps at kicks or attempts to kick, pushes strikes or attempts to strike, tackles or challenges, trips or attempts to trip. If an offense involves contact, it is penalized by a direct free kick. Careless is when a player shows a lack of attention or consideration when making a challenge or acts without precaution. No disciplinary sanction is needed. Reckless is when a player acts with disregard to the danger to, or consequences for, an opponent and must be cautioned. Using excessive force is when a player exceeds the necessary use of force and or endangers the safety of an opponent and must be sent off. A direct free kick is awarded if a player commits any of the following offenses. A handball offense. Fouls and misconduct. Holds an opponent, impedes an opponent with contact, bites or spits at someone on the team lists, or a match official throws an object at the ball, an opponent or a match official, or makes contact with the ball with a held object. See also offenses in Law 3. Handling the ball. For the purposes of determining handball offenses, the upper boundary of the arm is in line with the bottom of the armpit. Not every touch of a player's hand-arm with the ball is an offense. It is an offense if a player deliberately touches the ball with their hand-arm, for example, moving the hand-arm towards the ball, touches the ball with their hand-arm when it has made their body unnaturally bigger. A player is considered to have made their body unnaturally bigger when the position of their hand-arm is not a consequence of, or justifiable by, the player's body movement for that specific situation. By having their hand-arm in such a position, the player takes a risk of their hand-arm being hit by the ball and being penalized. Scores in the opponent's goal directly from their hand-arm, even if accidental, including by the goalkeeper immediately after the ball has touched their hand-arm, even if accidental. The goalkeeper has the same restrictions on handling the ball as any other player outside the penalty area. If the goalkeeper handles the ball inside their penalty area when not permitted to do so, an indirect free kick is awarded, but there is no disciplinary sanction. However, if the offense is playing the ball a second time after a restart before it touches another player, the goalkeeper must be sanctioned if the offense stops a promising attack or denies an opponent or the opposing team a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. 11. No handball. 11. No handball. Handball. 2. Indirect free kick. An indirect free kick is awarded if a player plays in a dangerous manner, impedes the progress of an opponent without any contact being made, is guilty of dissent, using offensive, insulting or abusive language and or action or other verbal offenses, prevents the goalkeeper from releasing the ball from the hands, or kicks or attempts to kick the ball when the goalkeeper is in the process of releasing it, initiates a deliberate trick for the ball to be passed to the goalkeeper with the head, chest, knee, etc. To circumvent the law, whether or not the goalkeeper touches the ball with the hands, the goalkeeper is penalized if responsible for initiating the deliberate trick commits any other offense, not mentioned in the laws, for which play is stopped to caution or send off a player. An indirect free kick is awarded if a goalkeeper, inside their penalty area, commits any of the following offenses. Controls the ball with the hand-arm for more than 6 seconds before releasing it, touches the ball with the hand-arm after releasing it and before it has touched another player, touches the ball with the hand-arm, unless the goalkeeper has clearly kicked or attempted to kick the ball to release it into play, after it has been deliberately kicked to the goalkeeper by a teammate receiving it directly from a throw-in taken by a teammate. A goalkeeper is considered to be in control of the ball with the hand when the ball is between the hands or between the hand and any surface, or by touching it with any part of the hands or arms, except if the ball rebounds from the goalkeeper or the goalkeeper has made a save. Holding the ball in the outstretched open hand, bouncing it on the ground, or throwing it in the air. A goalkeeper cannot be challenged by an opponent when in control of the ball with the hand. Playing in a dangerous manner. Playing in a dangerous manner is any action that, while trying to play the ball, threatens injury to someone and includes preventing a nearby opponent from playing the ball for fear of injury. A scissors or bicycle kick is permissible provided that it is not dangerous to an opponent. Impeding the progress of an opponent without contact. Impeding the progress of an opponent means moving into the opponent's path to obstruct, block, slow down, or force a change of direction when the ball is not within playing distance of either player. All players have a right to their position on the field of play. Being in the way of an opponent is not the same as moving into the way of an opponent. A player may shield the ball by taking a position between an opponent and the ball if the ball is within playing distance and the opponent is not held off with the arms or body. If the ball is within playing distance, the player may be fairly charged by an opponent. 3. Disciplinary action. The referee has the authority to take disciplinary action from entering the field of play for the pre-match inspection until leaving the field of play after the match ends. If, before entering the field of play at the start of the match, a player or team official commits a sending-off offense, the referee has the authority to prevent the player or team official taking part in the match. The referee will report any other misconduct. A player or team official who commits a cautionable or sending-off offense either on or off the field of play is disciplined according to the offense. The yellow card communicates a caution and the red card communicates a sending off. Only a player, substituted player or team official may be shown the red or yellow card. Players, substitutes and substituted players delaying the restart of play to show a card. Once the referee has decided to caution or send off a player, play must not be restarted until the sanction has been administered, unless the non-offending team takes a quick free kick, has a clear goal-scoring opportunity and the referee has not started the disciplinary sanction procedure. The sanction is administered at the next stoppage. If the offense was denying the opposing team an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, the player is cautioned. If the offense interfered with or stopped a promising attack, the player is not cautioned. Advantage. If the referee plays the advantage for an offense for which a caution sending off would have been issued had play been stopped, this caution sending off must be issued when the ball is next out of play. However, if the offense was denying the opposing team an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, the player is cautioned for unsporting behavior. If the offense was interfering with or stopping a promising attack, the player is not cautioned. Advantage should not be applied in situations involving serious foul play, violent conduct, or a second cautionable offense unless there is a clear opportunity to score a goal. The referee must send off the player when the ball is next out of play, but if the player plays the ball or challenges interferes with an opponent, the referee will stop play, send off the player and restart with an indirect free kick, unless the player committed a more serious offense. If a defender starts holding an attacker outside the penalty area and continues holding inside the penalty area, the referee must award a penalty kick. Cautionable offenses: a player is cautioned if guilty of delaying the restart of play, dissent by word or action, entering, re-entering, or deliberately leaving the field of play without the referee's permission, failing to respect the required distance when play is restarted with a dropped ball, corner kick, free kick or throw-in. Persistent offenses: unsporting behavior, entering the referee review area, excessively using the review signal. A substitute or substituted player is cautioned if guilty of delaying the restart of play, dissent by word or action, entering or re-entering the field of play without the referee's permission. Unsporting behavior, entering the referee review area, excessively using the review signal. Where two separate cautionable offenses are committed, they should result in two cautions. For example, if a player enters the field of play without the required permission and commits a reckless tackle or stops a promising attack with a foul handball, etc. Cautions for unsporting behavior. There are different circumstances when a player must be cautioned for unsporting behavior, including if a player attempts to deceive the referee, e.g. by feigning injury or pretending to have been fouled, changes places with the goalkeeper during play or without the referee's permission, commits in a reckless manner a direct free kick offense, handles the ball to interfere with or stop a promising attack, commits any other offense which interferes with or stops a promising attack, except where the referee awards a penalty kick for an offense which was an attempt to play the ball or a challenge for the ball, denies an opponent an obvious goal-scoring opportunity by committing an offense which was an attempt to play the ball or a challenge for the ball and the referee awards a penalty kick, handles the ball in an attempt to score a goal or in an unsuccessful attempt to prevent a goal, makes unauthorized marks on the field of play, plays the ball when leaving the field of play after being given permission to leave, shows a lack of respect for the game, initiates a deliberate trick for the ball to be passed to the goalkeeper with the head, chest, knee, etc. To circumvent the law, whether or not the goalkeeper touches the ball with the hands, the goalkeeper is cautioned if responsible for initiating the deliberate trick verbally distracts an opponent during play or at a restart. Celebration of a goal. Players can celebrate when a goal is scored, but the celebration must not be excessive. Choreographed celebrations are not encouraged and must not cause excessive time wasting. Leaving the field of play to celebrate a goal is not a cautionable offense, but players should return as soon as possible. A player must be cautioned even if the goal is disallowed for climbing onto a perimeter fence and or approaching the spectators in a manner which causes safety and or security issues, acting in a provocative, derisory, or inflammatory way, covering the head or face with a mask or other similar item, removing the shirt or covering the head with the shirt. Delaying the restart of play. Referees must caution players who delay the restart of play by appearing to take a throw-in but suddenly leaving it to a teammate to take, delaying leaving the field of play when being substituted, excessively delaying a restart, kicking or carrying the ball away, or provoking a confrontation by deliberately touching the ball after the referee has stopped play, taking a free kick from the wrong position to force a retake. Sending off offenses. A player, substitute, or substituted player who commits any of the following offenses is sent off: denying the opposing team a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity by a handball offense, denying a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity to an opponent whose overall movement is towards the offender's goal by an offense punishable by a Free kick, serious foul play, biting or spitting at someone, violent conduct using offensive, insulting or abusive language and or action, receiving a second caution in the same match, entering the video operation room. A player, substitute or substituted player who has been sent off must leave the vicinity of the field of play and the technical area. Denying a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, where a player commits an offense against an opponent within their own penalty area which denies an opponent an obvious goal-scoring opportunity and the referee awards a penalty kick. The offender is cautioned if the offense was an attempt to play the ball or a challenge for the ball. In all other circumstances, the offending player must be sent off. Where a player denies the opposing team a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity by a handball offense, the player is sent off wherever the offense occurs. A player, send-off player, substitute or substituted player who enters the field of play without the required referee's permission and interferes with play or an opponent and denies the opposing team a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity is guilty of a sending-off offense. The following must be considered: distance between the offense and the goal, general direction of the play, likelihood of keeping or gaining control of the ball, location and number of defenders. Serious foul play. A tackle or challenge that endangers the safety of an opponent or uses excessive force or brutality must be sanctioned as serious foul play. Any player who lunges at an opponent in challenging for the ball from the front, from the side or from behind using one or both legs with excessive force or endangers the safety of an opponent is guilty of serious foul play. Violent conduct. Violent conduct is when a player uses or attempts to use excessive force or brutality against an opponent when not challenging for the ball, or against a teammate, team official, match official, spectator, or any other person, regardless of whether contact is made. In addition, a player who, when not challenging for the ball, deliberately strikes an opponent or any other person on the head or face with a hand or arm is guilty of violent conduct unless the force used was negligible. Team officials. Where an offense is committed by someone from the technical area and the offender cannot be identified, the senior team coach present in the technical area will receive the sanction. Warning. The following offenses should usually result in a warning. Repeated or blatant offenses should result in a caution or sending off. Entering the field of play in a respectful, non-confrontational manner, failing to cooperate with a match official, e.g. ignoring an instruction request from an assistant referee or the fourth official, minor low-level disagreement with a decision, occasionally leaving the confines of the technical area without committing another offense. Caution. Caution offenses include clearly, persistently not respecting the confines of their team's technical area, delaying the restart of play by their team, deliberately entering the technical area of the opposing team, dissent by word or action, including throwing, kicking, drinks, bottles, or other objects, action which show a clear lack of respect for the match official, e.g. sarcastic clapping. Entering the referee review area, excessively, persistently gesturing for a red or yellow card, excessively showing the TV signal for a VAR review, acting in a provocative or inflammatory manner, persistent, unacceptable behavior showing a lack of respect for the game. Sending off. Sending off offenses include delaying the restart of play by the opposing team, e.g. holding onto the ball, kicking the ball away, obstructing the movement of a player, deliberately leaving the technical area to show dissent towards, or remonstrate with, a match official, act in a provocative or inflammatory manner. Entering the opposing technical area in an aggressive or confrontational manner, deliberately throwing, kicking an object onto the field of play, entering the field of play to confront a match official, interfere with play, an opposing player or a match official. Entering the video operation room, physical or aggressive behavior towards an opposing player, substitute, team official, match official, spectator, or any other person, e.g. ball boy, girl, security or competition official, etc. Receiving a second caution in the same match using offensive, insulting, or abusive language and or action, using unauthorized electronic or communication equipment and or behaving in an inappropriate manner as a result of using electronic or communication equipment, violent conduct. Offenses where an object is thrown. In all cases, the referee takes the appropriate disciplinary action. Reckless, caution the offender for unsporting behavior using excessive force, send off the offender for violent conduct. 4. Restart of play after fouls and misconduct. If the ball is out of play, play is restarted according to the previous decision. If the ball is in play and a player commits a physical offense inside the field of play against an opponent, an indirect or direct free kick or penalty kick, a teammate, substitute, substituted or send-off player, team official, or a match official, a direct free kick or penalty kick. All verbal offenses are penalized with an indirect free kick. If the referee stops play for an offense committed by a player, inside or outside the field of play, against an outside agent, play is restarted with a dropped ball, unless an indirect free kick is awarded for leaving the field of play without the referee's permission. The indirect free kick is taken from the point on the boundary line where the player left the field of play. If, when the ball is in play, A player commits an offense against a match official or an opposing player, substitute, substituted or send-off player, or team official outside the field of play, or a substitute, substituted or send-off player, or team official commits an offense against, or interferes with an opposing player or a match official outside the field of play. Play is restarted with a free kick on the boundary line nearest to where the offense interference occurred. For direct free kick offenses, a penalty kick is awarded if this is within the offender's penalty area. If an offense is committed outside the field of play by a player against a player, substitute, substituted player or team official of their own team, play is restarted with an indirect free kick on the boundary line closest to where the offense occurred. If a player makes contact with the ball with an object held in the hand, play is restarted with a direct free kick. If a player who is on or off the field of play throws or kicks an object at an opposing player, or throws or kicks an object at an opposing substitute, substituted or send-off player, team official, or a match official or the match ball, play is restarted with a direct free kick from the position where the object struck or would have struck the person or the ball. If this position is off the field of play, the free kick is taken on the nearest point on the boundary line. A penalty kick is awarded if this is within the offender's penalty area. If a substitute, substituted or send-off player, player temporarily off the field of play or team official throws or kicks an object onto the field of play and it interferes with play, an opponent or match official, play is restarted with a direct free kick where the object interfered with play or struck or would have struck the opponent, match official or the ball. Law 13. LAWSOF The Game 202-324. 1. Types of free kick. Direct and indirect free kicks are awarded to the opposing team of a player, substitute, substituted or send-off player, or team official guilty of an offense. Indirect free kick signal. The referee indicates an indirect free kick by raising the arm above the head. The signal is maintained until the kick has been taken and the ball touches another player, goes out of play, or it is clear that a goal cannot be scored directly. An indirect free kick must be retaken if the referee fails to signal that the kick is indirect and the ball is kicked directly into the goal. Ball enters the goal. If a direct free kick is kicked directly into the opponent's goal, a goal is awarded. If an indirect free kick is kicked directly into the opponent's goal, a goal kick is awarded. If a direct or indirect free kick is kicked directly into the team's own goal, a corner kick is awarded. 2. Procedure. All free kicks are taken from the place where the offense occurred, except indirect free kicks to the attacking team for an offense inside the opponent's goal area are taken from the nearest point on the goal area line which runs parallel to the goal line. Free kicks to the defending team in their goal area may be taken from anywhere in that area. Free kicks. Free kicks for offenses involving a player entering, re-entering, or leaving the field of play without permission are taken from the position of the ball when play was stopped. However, if a player commits an offense off the field of play, play is restarted with a free kick taken on the boundary line nearest to where the offense occurred. For direct free kick offenses, a penalty kick is awarded if this is within the offender's penalty area where the law designates another position. The ball must be stationary and the kicker must not touch the ball again until it has touched another player is in play. When it is kicked and clearly moves until the ball is in play, all opponents must remain at least 9.15 m from the ball, unless they are on their own goal line between the goalposts outside the penalty area. For free kicks inside the opponent's penalty area, where 3 or more defending team players form a wall, all attacking team players must remain at least 1 m from the wall until the ball is in play. A free kick can be taken by lifting the ball with a foot or both feet simultaneously. Feinting to take a free kick to confuse opponents is permitted as part of football. If a player, while correctly taking a free kick, deliberately kicks the ball at an opponent in order to play the ball again but not in a careless or reckless manner or using excessive force, the referee allows play to continue. 3. Offenses and sanctions. If, when a free kick is taken, an opponent is closer to the ball than the required distance, the kick is retaken unless the advantage can be applied. But if a player takes a free kick quickly and an opponent who is less than 9.15 m from the ball intercepts it, the referee allows play to continue. However, an opponent who deliberately prevents a free kick being taken quickly must be cautioned for delaying the restart of play. If, when a free kick is taken, an attacking team player is less than 1 m from a wall formed by 3 or more defending team players, an indirect free kick is awarded. If, when a free kick is taken by the defending team inside its penalty area, any opponents are inside the penalty area because they did not have time to leave, the referee allows play to continue. If an opponent who is in the penalty area when the free kick is taken, or enters the penalty area before the ball is in play, touches or challenges for the ball before it is in play, the free kick is retaken. If, after the ball is in play, the kicker touches the ball again before it has touched another player, an indirect free kick is awarded if the kicker commits a handball offense. A direct free kick is awarded. A penalty kick is awarded if the offense occurred inside the kicker's penalty area unless the kicker was the goalkeeper, in which case an indirect free kick is awarded. Law 14. The penalty kick. A penalty kick is awarded if a player commits a direct free kick offense inside their penalty area or off the field as part of play as outlined in Laws 12 and 13. A goal may be scored directly from a penalty kick. 1. Procedure. The ball must be stationary on the penalty mark and the goalposts, crossbar and goal net must not be moving. The player taking the penalty kick must be clearly identified. The defending goalkeeper must remain on the goal line, facing the kicker, between the goalposts, until the ball is kicked. The goalkeeper must not behave in a way that unfairly distracts the kicker, e.g. delay the taking of the kick or touch the goalposts, crossbar or goal net. The players other than the kicker and goalkeeper must be at least 9.15 m from the penalty mark behind the penalty mark inside the field of play outside the penalty area. After the players have taken positions in accordance with this law, the referee signals for the penalty kick to be taken. The player taking the penalty kick must kick the ball forward. Backheeling is permitted provided the ball moves forward. When the ball is kicked, the defending goalkeeper must have at least part of 1 foot touching, in line with, or behind, the goal line. The ball is in play when it is kicked and clearly moves. The kicker must not play the ball again until it has touched another player. The penalty kick is completed when the ball stops moving, goes out of play, or the referee stops play for any offense. Additional time is allowed for a penalty kick to be taken and completed at the end of each half of the match or extra time. When additional time is allowed, the penalty kick is completed when, after the kick has been taken, the ball stops moving, goes out of play, is played by any player other than the defending goalkeeper, or the referee stops play for an offense by the kicker or the kicker's team. If a defending team player commits an offense and the penalty is missaved, the penalty is retaken. 2. Offenses and sanctions. Once the referee has signaled for a penalty kick to be taken, the kick must be taken. If it is not taken, the referee may take disciplinary action before signaling again for the kick to be taken. If, before the ball is in play, one of the following occurs, the player taking the penalty kick or a teammate offends. If the ball enters the goal, the kick is retaken. If the ball does not enter the goal, the referee stops play and restarts with an indirect free kick. Except for the following, when play will be stopped and restarted with an indirect free kick, regardless of whether or not a goal is scored. A penalty kick is kicked backwards. A teammate of the identified kicker takes the kick. The referee cautions the player who took the kick feinting to kick the ball once the kicker has completed the run-up. The referee cautions the kicker. The goalkeeper offends. If the ball enters the goal, a goal is awarded. If the ball misses the goal or rebounds from the crossbar or goalpost, the kick is only retaken if the goalkeeper's offense clearly impacted on the kicker. If the ball is prevented from entering the goal by the goalkeeper, the kick is retaken. If the goalkeeper's offense results in the kick being retaken, the goalkeeper is warned for the first offense in the game and cautioned for any subsequent offense in the game. A teammate of the goalkeeper offends. If the ball enters the goal, a goal is awarded. If the ball does not enter the goal, the kick is retaken. A player of both teams offends, the kick is retaken unless a player commits a more serious offense. Both the goalkeeper and the kicker commit an offense at the same time. The kicker is cautioned and play restarts with an indirect free kick to the defending team. If, after the penalty kick has been taken, the kicker touches the ball again before it has touched another player, an indirect free kick is awarded. The ball is touched by an outside agent as it moves forward. The kick is retaken unless the ball is going into the goal and the interference does not prevent the goalkeeper or a defending player playing the ball, in which case the goal is awarded if the ball enters the goal unless the interference was by the attacking team. The ball rebounds into the field of play from the goalkeeper, the crossbar or the goalposts and is then touched by an outside agent. The referee stops play. Play is restarted with a dropped ball at the position where it touched the outside agent. 3. Summary table. 123. Law 15. The throw-in. A throw-in is awarded to the opponents of the player who last touched the ball when the whole of the ball passes over the touchline, on the ground or in the air. A goal cannot be scored directly from a throw-in. If the ball enters the opponent's goal, a goal kick is awarded. If the ball enters the thrower's goal, a corner kick is awarded. 1. Procedure. At the moment of delivering the ball, the thrower must stand facing the field of play, have part of each foot on the touchline or on the ground outside the touchline, throw the ball with both hands from behind and over the head from the point where it left the field of play. All opponents must stand at least 2 m from the point on the touchline where the throw-in is to be taken. The ball is in play when it enters the field of play. If the ball touches the ground before entering, the throw-in is retaken by the same team from the same position. If the throw-in is not taken correctly, it is retaken by the opposing team. If a player, while correctly taking a throw-in, deliberately throws the ball at an opponent in order to play the ball again but not in a careless or a reckless manner or using excessive force, the referee allows play to continue. The thrower must not touch the ball again until it has touched another player. 2. Offenses and sanctions. If, after the ball is in play, the thrower touches the ball again before it has touched another player, an indirect free kick is awarded if the thrower commits a handball offense. A direct free kick is awarded. A penalty kick is awarded if the offense occurred inside the thrower's penalty area unless the ball was handled by the defending team's goalkeeper, in which case an indirect free kick is awarded. An opponent who unfairly distracts or impedes the thrower to the place where the throw-in is to be taken is cautioned for unsporting behavior, and if the throw-in has been taken, an indirect free kick is awarded. For any other offense, the throw-in is taken by a player of the opposing team. Law 16. The goal kick. A goal kick is awarded when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, on the ground or in the air, having last touched a player of the attacking team, and a goal is not scored. A goal may be scored directly from a goal kick, but only against the opposing team. If the ball directly enters the kicker's goal, a corner kick is awarded to the opponents. 1. Procedure. The ball must be stationary and is kicked from any point within the goal area by a player of the defending team. The ball is in play when it is kicked and clearly moves. Opponents must be outside the penalty area until the ball is in play. 2. Offenses and sanctions. If, after the ball is in play, the kicker touches the ball again before it has touched another player, an indirect free kick is awarded if the kicker commits a handball offense. A direct free kick is awarded. A penalty kick is awarded if the offense occurred inside the kicker's penalty area, unless the kicker was the goalkeeper, in which case an indirect free kick is awarded. If, when a goal kick is taken, any opponents are inside the penalty area because they did not have time to leave, the referee allows play to continue. If an opponent who is in the penalty area when the goal kick is taken, or enters the penalty area before the ball is in play, touches or challenges for the ball before it is in play, the goal kick is retaken. If a player enters the penalty area before the ball is in play and fouls or is fouled by an opponent, the goal kick is retaken and the offender may be cautioned or sent off, depending on the offense. For any other offense, the kick is retaken. Law 17. The corner kick. A corner kick is awarded when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, on the ground or in the air, having last touched a player of the defending team, and a goal is not scored. A goal may be scored directly from a corner kick, but only against the opposing team. If the ball directly enters the kicker's goal, a corner kick is awarded to the opponents. 1. Procedure. The ball must be placed in the corner area nearest to the point where the ball passed over the goal line. The ball must be stationary and is kicked by a player of the attacking team. The ball is in play when it is kicked and clearly moves. It does not need to leave the corner area. The corner flag post must not be moved. Opponents must remain at least 9.15 m from the corner arc until the ball is in play. 2. Offenses and sanctions. If, after the ball is in play, the kicker touches the ball again before it has touched another player, an indirect free kick is awarded if the kicker commits a handball offense. A direct free kick is awarded. A penalty kick is awarded if the offense occurred inside the kicker's penalty area, unless the kicker was the goalkeeper, in which case an indirect free kick is awarded. If a player, while correctly taking a corner kick, deliberately kicks the ball at an opponent in order to play the ball again but not in a careless or reckless manner or using excessive force, the referee allows play to continue. For any other offense, the kick is retaken. Video Assistant Referee Protocol. Protocol. Principles, practicalities, and procedures. The VAR protocol, as far as possible, conforms to the principles and philosophy of the laws of the game. The use of video assistant referees is only permitted where the match competition organizer has fulfilled all the implementation assistance and approval program requirements as set out in FIFA's IAP documents and has received written permission from FIFA. 1. Principles. The use of VARs in football matches is based on a number of principles, all of which must apply in every match using VARs. 1. A video assistant referee is a match official with independent access to match footage who may assist the referee only in the event of a clear and obvious error or serious missed incident in relation to A. Goal no goal. B. Penalty no penalty. Direct red card. Mistaken identity. 2. The referee must always make a decision, i.e. the referee is not permitted to give no decision and then use the VAR to make the decision. A decision to allow play to continue after an alleged offense can be reviewed. 3. The original decision given by the referee will not be changed unless the video review clearly shows that the decision was a clear and obvious error. 4. Only the referee can initiate a review. The VAR can only recommend a review to the referee. 5. The final decision is always taken by the referee either based on information from the VAR or after the referee has undertaken an on-field review. 6. There is no time limit for the review process as accuracy is more important than speed. 7. The players and team officials must not surround the referee or attempt to influence if a decision is reviewed, the review process or the final decision. 8. The referee must remain visible during the review process to ensure transparency. 9. If play continues after an incident which is then reviewed, any disciplinary action taken required during the post-incident period is not cancelled, even if the original decision is changed. 10. If play has stopped and been restarted, the referee may not undertake a review except for a case of mistaken identity or for a potential sending-off offense relating to violent conduct, spitting, biting, or extremely offensive, insulting, and/or abusive action. 11. The period of play before and after an incident that can be reviewed is determined by the laws of the game and VAR protocol. 12. As the VAR will automatically check every situation decision, there is no need for coaches or players to request a review. 2. Reviewable match-changing decisions incidents. The referee may receive assistance from the VAR only in relation to 4 categories of match-changing decisions incidents. In all these situations, the VAR is only used after the referee has made a decision, or if a serious incident is missed not seen by the match officials. The referee's original decision will not be changed unless there was a clear and obvious error. The categories of decision incident which may be reviewed in the event of a potential clear and obvious error or serious missed incident are: A. Goal no goal. Attacking team offense in the build-up to or scoring of the goal, ball out of play prior to the goal, no goal decisions offense by goalkeeper and/or kicker at the taking of a penalty kick or encroachment by an attacker or defender who becomes directly involved in play if the penalty kick rebounds from the goal post, crossbar, or goalkeeper. B. Penalty kick no penalty kick. Attacking team offense in the build-up to the penalty incident, ball out of play prior to the incident location of offense, penalty kick incorrectly awarded, penalty kick offense not penalized. C. Direct red cards. DOCSO serious foul play, violent conduct, biting or spitting at another person using offensive, insulting, or abusive action. D. Mistaken identity. If the referee penalizes an offense and then gives the wrong player from the offending team a yellow or red card, the identity of the offender can be reviewed. The actual offense itself cannot be reviewed unless it relates to a goal, penalty incident, or direct red card. 3. Practicalities. The use of VARs during a match involves the following practical arrangements. The VAR watches the match in the video operation room assisted by one or more assistant VARs depending on the number of camera angles and other considerations. There may be more than one AVAR and one or more replay operators. Only authorized persons are allowed to enter the VOR or communicate with the VAR of RO during the match. The VAR has independent access to and replay control of TV broadcast footage. The VAR is connected to the communication system being used by the match officials and can hear everything they say. The VAR can only speak to the referee by pushing a button. If the VAR is busy with a check or a review, the AVAR may speak to the referee. Especially if the game needs to be stopped or to ensure play does not restart. If the referee decides to view the replay footage, the VAR will select the best angle replay speed. The referee can request other additional angle speeds. 4. Procedures original decision. The referee and other match officials must always make an initial decision, as if there was no VAR, the referee and other match officials are not permitted to give no decision, as this will lead to weak, indecisive officiating. Too many reviews and significant problems. If there is a technology failure, the referee is the only person who can make the final decision. The VAR has the same status as the other match officials and can only assist the referee. Delaying the flag whistle for an offense is only permissible in a very clear attacking situation when a player is about to score a goal or has a clear run into towards the opponent's penalty area. If an assistant referee delays a flag for an offense, the assistant referee must raise the flag. If the attacking team scores a goal, is awarded a penalty kick, free kick, corner kick or throw-in, or retains possession of the ball after the initial attack has ended. In all other situations, the assistant referee should decide whether or not to raise the flag, depending on the requirements of the game. Check. The VAR automatically checks the TV camera footage for every potential or actual goal, penalty or direct red card decision incident, or a case of mistaken identity. Using different camera angles and replay speeds, the VAR can check the footage in normal speed and or in slow motion, but in general, slow motion replays should only be used for facts, e.g. position of offense player, point of contact for physical offenses and handball, ball out of play. Normal speed should be used for the intensity of an offense or to decide if it was a handball offense. If the check does not indicate a clear and obvious error or serious missed incident, there is usually no need for the VAR to communicate with the referee. This is a silent check. However, it sometimes helps the assistant referee to manage the player's match if the VAR confirms that no clear and obvious error or serious missed incident occurred. If the restart of play needs to be delayed for a check, the referee will signal this by clearly holding a finger to the earpiece headset and extending the other hand arm. This signal must be maintained until the check is complete, as it announces that the referee is receiving information if the check indicates a probable clear and obvious error or serious missed incident. The VAR will communicate this information to the referee, who will then decide whether or not to initiate a review. Review. The referee can initiate a review for a potential clear and obvious error or serious missed incident when the VAR recommends a review. The referee suspects that something serious has been missed. If play has already stopped, the referee delays the restart if play has not already stopped. The referee stops play when the ball is next in a neutral zone situation and shows the TV signal. The VAR describes to the referee what can be seen on the TV replay, and the referee then shows the TV signal and goes to the referee review area to view replay footage on field review before making a final decision. The other match officials will not review the footage unless, in exceptional circumstances, asked to do so by the referee, or makes a final decision based on the referee's own perception and the information from the VAR, and, where appropriate, input from other match officials. VAR-only review. At the end of both review processes, the referee must show the TV signal immediately followed by the final decision for subjective decisions, e.g. intensity of a foul challenge, interference at offside, handball considerations, and on-field review is appropriate for factual decisions, e.g. position of an offense or player, point of contact, location, ball out of play, etc. A VAR-only review is usually appropriate, but an on-field review can be used for a factual decision if it will help manage the player's match or sell the decision. The referee can request different cameras, angles, replay speeds, but, in general, slow-motion replays should only be used for facts, e.g. position of offense player, point of contact for physical offenses, and handball, ball out of play. Normal speed should be used for the intensity of an offense or to decide if it was a handball offense for decisions. Incidents relating to goals, penalty, no penalty, and red cards for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. It may be necessary to review the attacking phase of play which led directly to the decision incident. This may include how the attacking team gained possession of the ball in open play. The laws of the game do not allow restart decisions, corner kicks, throw-ins, etc. to be changed once play has restarted, so they cannot be reviewed if play has stopped and restarted. The referee may only undertake a review and take the appropriate disciplinary sanction for a case of mistaken identity or for a potential sending off offense relating to violent conduct, spitting, biting, or extremely offensive, insulting, and/or abusive action. The review process should be completed as efficiently as possible, but the accuracy of the final decision is more important than speed. For this reason, and because some situations are complex with several reviewable decisions incidents, there is no maximum time limit for the review process. Final decision. When the review process is completed, the referee must show the TV signal and communicate the final decision. The referee will then take change, rescind any disciplinary action, and restart play in accordance with the laws of the game. Players, substitutes, and team officials. As the VAR will automatically check every situation incident, there is no need for coaches or players to request a check or review. Players, substitutes, and team officials must not attempt to influence or interfere with the review process, including when the final decision is communicated. During the review process, players should remain on the field of play, substitutes and team officials should remain off the field of play. A player substitute, substituted player, team official who excessively shows the TV signal or enters the RRA will be cautioned. A player substitute, substituted player, team official who enters the VAR will be sent off. Match validity. In principle, a match is not invalidated because of malfunction of the VAR technology, wrong decision involving the VAR decision not to review an incident, review of a non-reviewable situation decision, incapacitated VAR, a VAR or replay operator. Law 6. The other match official stipulates, competition rules must state clearly who replaces a match official who is unable to start or continue and any associated changes. In matches using VARs, this also applies to replay operators, as special training and qualifications are needed to be a video match official replay operator. The following principles must be included in competition rules. A VAR, a VAR or replay operator who is unable to start or continue may only be replaced by someone who is qualified for that role if no qualified replacement can be found for the VAR or replay operator. The match must be played continue without the use of VARs if no qualified replacement can be found for the AVAR. The match must be played continue without the use of VARs unless, in exceptional circumstances, both teams agree in writing that the match may be played continue with only the VAR and replay operator. This does not apply where there is more than one AVAR replay operator. FIFA Quality Program. FIFA Quality Program. The FIFA Quality Program sets criteria, based on well-founded research, for products, playing surfaces and technologies used in the game of football. In addition to mandatory quality requirements in some fields of application, uniform recommendations are offered in other areas, on the basis of which competition organizers can further specify their own regulations. Independent testing institutes verify the functionality of the products, playing surfaces and technologies in accordance with the respective standard. The institutes conducting these tests are subject to the approval of FIFA. The following quality marks identify those products, playing surfaces and technologies tested and certified to the prevailing requirements. FIFA Basic. The test requirements for this standard are designed to identify products that fulfill basic performance, accuracy, safety, and durability criteria for football. The focus is on setting minimum standards while ensuring affordability for use at all levels of the game. FIFA quality. The test requirements emphasize the durability and safety of these products, playing surfaces and technologies more than for the FIFA basic standard. Basic performance and accuracy criteria are tested, but the main focus is on ensuring extensive use. FIFA Quality Pro. The emphasis of the test requirements is on first-class performance, accuracy, and safety. Products, playing surfaces, and technologies with this quality mark are designed for optimal performance and use at the highest level. For more information on the FIFA Quality Program, the individual standards and the certified products, playing surfaces, and technologies, visit. FIFA Basic is replacing the International Match Standard. Footballs and playing surfaces tested to this previous standard remain eligible for use until their certification expires. Law Changes 2023-24. Outline Summary of Law Changes. Law 3. The Players. Clarification relating to extra person on the field of play when a goal is scored. Law 6. The Other Match Officials. Reserve assistant referee now permitted to assist the referee in the same way as the other on-field match officials. Law 7. The Duration of the Match. Goal celebrations to become a separate bullet point in the list of causes of time lost for which the referee makes allowance. Law 10. Determining the outcome of a match. The term kicks from the penalty mark to be replaced by penalties. Clarification that warnings and cautions for team officials, as well as for players, are not carried forward into penalties. Law 11. Offside. Clarification of guidelines to distinguish between deliberate play and deflection, as outlined in Circular 26. Law 12. Fouls and misconduct. Clarification that if the referee awards a penalty kick for an offense which involved a defending team player challenging an opponent for the ball, the same sanction should be issued to the player as for an attempt to play the ball, i.e. if the offense stops or interferes with a promising attack, no caution, DOGSO offense caution. Law 12. Fouls and misconduct. Clarification that the senior team coach present in the technical area cannot be sanctioned for an offense committed by an unidentified player. Law 14. The penalty kick. Clarification that the goalkeeper must not behave in a manner that fails to show respect for the game and the opponent, i.e. by unfairly distracting the kicker. Video Assistant Referee Protocol. Confirmation that the VAR light system does not involve a replay operator. Details of all law changes. The following are the changes to the laws of the game for the 2023-24 edition. For each change, the amended or additional wording is provided together with the previous wording, where appropriate, followed by an explanation of the change. Key. The main law changes are underlined in yellow and highlighted in the margin. Editorial changes are underlined. YC equals yellow card, RC equals red card. Law 3. The Players. 9. Goal scored with an extra person on the field of play. Additional text. If, after a goal is scored, the referee realizes, before play restarts, that an extra person was on the field of play when the goal was scored, and that person interfered with play, the referee must disallow the goal if the extra person was a player, substitute, substituted player, send-off player or team official of the team that scored the goal. Play is restarted with a direct free kick from the position of the extra person. An outside agent who interfered with play unless a goal results as outlined above and extra persons on the field of play. Play is restarted with a dropped ball. The referee must allow the goal if the extra person was a player, substitute, substituted player, send-off player or team official of the team that conceded the goal. An outside agent who did not interfere with play. Explanation. Clarification that the referee should take action against an extra person on the field of play when a goal is scored only if the person affected the play, e.g. the law does not expect the referee to penalize encroachment onto the field of play if it does not impact the play. Law 6. The Other Match Officials. Amended text. Other match officials and at least one assistant VAR may be appointed to matches. The referee, assistant referees, fourth official, additional assistant referees and reserve assistant referee are the on-field match officials. With the exception of the reserve assistant referee, the other on-field match officials assist the referee with offenses when they have a clearer view than the referee. 4. Reserve assistant referee. The only duty of a reserve assistant referee is to only replace an assistant referee, or fourth official or additional assistant referee who is unable to continue, and may also assist the referee in the same way as the other on-field match officials. Explanation. The use of reserve assistant referees has increased significantly, and it is therefore logical that they should be able to give the same assistance to the referee as the other on-field match officials. Law 7. The Duration of the Match. 3. Allowance for time lost. Amended text. Allowance is made by the referee in each half for all playing time lost in that half through substitutions, goal celebrations, any other cause, including any significant delay to a restart. Explanation. Goal celebrations will henceforth be listed separately to emphasize that they often result in a significant amount of time being lost, for which the referee makes allowance. Law 10, determining the outcome of a match 2. Winning team amended text. When competition rules require a winning team after a drawn match, the only permitted procedures to determine the winning team are: away goals rule 2, equal periods of extra time not exceeding 15 minutes each. Kicks from the penalty mark penalties. A combination of the above procedures may be used. 3. Kicks from the penalty mark penalties. Kicks from the penalty mark penalties are taken after the match has ended. Warnings and cautions issued to players and team officials during the match are not carried forward into kicks from the penalty mark penalties. Procedure. Before kicks from the penalty mark penalties start, during kicks from the penalty mark penalties subject to the conditions explained below. Both teams take 5 kicks. Kicks from the penalty mark penalties must not be delayed for a player who leaves the field of play. Substitutions and sendings off during kicks from the penalty mark penalties. The change from kicks from the penalty mark to penalties will also apply to the following: guidelines for temporary dismissals, Law 2.2, replacement of a defective ball, Law 3.5, offenses and sanctions, Law 5.3, powers and duties, Law 12. 3. Disciplinary action glossary, practical guidelines for match officials. Explanation. The term kicks from the penalty mark is outdated and rarely used. Most people refer to penalties or a penalty shootout. Clarification that warnings and cautions for team officials, as well as for players, are not carried forward into penalties. Law 11, offside 2. Offside offense. Additional text. A player in an offside position receiving the ball from an opponent who deliberately played the ball, including by deliberate handball, is not considered to have gained an advantage, unless it was a deliberate save by any opponent. Deliberate play is when a player has control of the ball with the possibility of passing the ball to a teammate, gaining possession of the ball, or clearing the ball if the pass, attempt to gain possession or clearance by the player in control of the ball is inaccurate or unsuccessful. This does not negate the fact that the player deliberately played the ball. The following criteria should be used, as appropriate, as indicators that a player was in control of the ball and, as a result, can be considered to have deliberately played the ball. The ball traveled from distance and the player had a clear view of it. The ball was not moving quickly. The direction of the ball was not unexpected. The player had time to coordinate their body movement, i.e., it was not a case of instinctive stretching or jumping. Or a movement that achieved limited contact control. A ball moving on the ground is easier to play than a ball in the air. Explanation. The additional wording clarifies the guidelines for distinguishing between deliberate play and deflection based on the expectation that a player who is clearly in an offside position should not become onside on all occasions when an opponent moves and touches the ball. This wording was published in the IFAB Circular 26. Law 12, fouls and misconduct 3. Disciplinary action. Additional text. Cautions for unsporting behavior. There are different circumstances when a player must be cautioned for unsporting behavior, including if a player handles the ball to interfere with or stop a promising attack, commits any other offense which interferes with or stops a promising attack. Except where the referee awards a penalty kick for an offense which was an attempt to play the ball or a challenge for the ball, denies an opponent an obvious goal-scoring opportunity by committing an offense which was an attempt to play the ball or a challenge for the ball, and the referee awards a penalty kick. Denying a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity where a player commits an offense against an opponent within their own penalty area which denies an opponent an obvious goal-scoring opportunity and the referee awards a penalty kick. The offender is cautioned if the offense was an attempt to play the ball or a challenge for the ball. In all other circumstances, the offending player must be sent off. Explanation. It is not always clear whether an action was an attempt to play the ball or a challenge for the ball. The same principle should apply for challenging for the ball as attempting to play the ball. Where the referee awards a penalty for a DOGSO offense, the offending player is only sent off if the offense was committed without the possibility to play the ball. Law 12, fouls and misconduct 3. Disciplinary action. Additional text. Team officials where an offense is committed by someone from the technical area and the offender cannot be identified. The senior team coach present in the technical area will receive the sanction. Explanation. Clarification that the senior team official can be sanctioned only for an offense committed by an unidentified offender who is in from the technical area, i.e., this does not apply to an offense committed by an unidentified player. Law 14, the penalty kick 1. Procedure. Additional text. The defending goalkeeper must remain on the goal line, facing the kicker, between the goalposts, without touching the goalposts, crossbar or goal net, until the ball has been kicked. The goalkeeper must not behave in a way that unfairly distracts the kicker, e.g. delay the taking of the kick or touch the goalposts, crossbar or goal net. Explanation. Clarification that the goalkeeper must not behave in a manner that fails to show respect for the game and the opponent, i.e. by unfairly distracting the kicker. Video Assistant Referee Protocol 3. Practicalities amended text. Youth use of VARs during a match involves the following practical arrangements. The VAR watches the match in the video operation room assisted by a known or more assistant VARs and replay operator depending on the number of camera angles. There may be more than one AVAR or are-owned one or more replay operators. Explanation. Amended wording reflects the VAR light system, which does not involve a replay operator. Glossary. The glossary contains words phrases which need clarification or explanation beyond the detail in the laws and or which are not always easily translated into other languages. Football bodies. The IFAB, the International Football Association Board. Body composed of the 4 British FAs and FIFA, which is responsible for the laws of the game worldwide. In principle, changes to the laws may only be approved at the annual general meeting usually held in February or March. FIFA Fédération Internationale de Football Association, the governing body responsible for football throughout the world. Confederation. Body responsible for football in a continent. The 6 confederations are AFC, CAF, CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, OFC, and UEFA. National Football Association. Body responsible for football in a country. A. Abandon. To end, terminate a match before the scheduled finish. Additional time. Time allowed at the end of each half for time lost because of substitutions, injuries, disciplinary action, goal celebrations, etc. Advantage. The referee allows play to continue when an offense has occurred if this benefits the non-offending team. Assessment of injured player. Quick examination of an injury, usually by a medical person, to see if the player requires treatment. Away goals rule. Method of deciding a match tie when both teams have scored the same number of goals. Goals scored away from home count double. Football terms. B. Brutality. An act which is savage, ruthless, or deliberately violent. C. Caution. Disciplinary sanction which results in a report to a disciplinary authority, indicated by showing a yellow card. 2 cautions in a match result in a player or team official being sent off. Challenge. An action when a player competes contests with an opponent for the ball charge. Physical challenge against an opponent, usually using the shoulder and upper arm. Cooling break. In the interests of player welfare and safety, competition rules may allow, in certain weather conditions, cooling breaks to allow the body's temperature to fall. These are different from drinks breaks. D. Deceive. Act to mislead, trick the referee into giving an incorrect decision. Disciplinary sanction which benefits the deceiver and or their team. Deliberate. An action which the player intended meant to make. It is not a reflex or unintended reaction. Direct free kick. A free kick from which a goal can be scored by kicking the ball directly into the opponent's goal without having to touch another player. Discretion. Judgment used by a referee or other match official when making a decision. Dissent. Public protest or disagreement with a match official's decision, punishable by a caution. Distract. Disturb, confuse, or draw attention. Drinks break. Competition rules may allow drinks breaks for players to rehydrate. These are different from cooling breaks. Dropped ball. A method of restarting play. The referee drops the ball for one player of the team that last touched the ball. The ball is in play when it touches the ground. E. Electronic performance and tracking system. System which records and analyses data about the physical and physiological performance of a player. Endanger the safety of an opponent. Put an opponent at danger or risk excessive force. Using more force energy than is necessary. Extra time. A method of trying to decide the outcome of a match involving 2 equal additional periods of play not exceeding 15 minutes each. F. Feinting. An action which attempts to confuse an opponent. The laws define permitted and illegal feinting field of play. The playing area confined by the touchlines and goal nets were used. G. Goal line technology. Electronic system which immediately informs the referee when a goal has been scored, i.e. the ball has wholly passed over the goal line and the goal. H. Holding offense. A holding offense occurs only when a player's contact with an opponent's body or equipment impedes the opponent's movement. Hybrid system. A combination of artificial and natural materials to create a playing surface which requires sunlight, water, air circulation, and mowing. I. Impede. To delay, block, or prevent an opponent's action or movement. Indirect free kick. A free kick from which a goal can only be scored if another player touches the ball after it has been kicked. Intercept. To prevent a ball reaching its intended destination. K. Kick. The ball is kicked when a player makes contact with it with the foot and or the ankle. Kicks from the penalty mark. See penalties. N. Negligible. Insignificant, minimal. O. Offense. An action which breaks violates the laws of the game. Offensive, insulting, or abusive language action. Verbal or physical behavior which is rude, hurtful, disrespectful, punishable by a sending off outside agent. Any animal, object or structure, etc., as well as any person who is not a match official or on the team list. P. Penalize. To punish, usually by stopping play and awarding a free kick or penalty kick to the opposing team. Penalties. Previously, kicks from the penalty mark. Method of deciding the result of a match by each team alternately taking kicks until one team has scored one more goal and both teams have taken the same number of kicks. Penalty shootout. See penalties. Play. Action by a player which makes contact with the ball. Playing distance. Distance to the ball which allows a player to touch the ball by extending the foot, leg, or jumping, or, for goalkeepers, jumping with arms extended. Distance depends on the physical size of the player. Q. Quick free kick. A free kick taken very quickly after play was stopped. R. Reckless. Any action by a player which disregards the danger to, or consequences for, the opponent. Restart. Any method of resuming play after it has been stopped. Restart position. A player's position at a restart is determined by the position of their feet or any part of their body which is touching the ground, except as outlined in Law 11. Offside. S. Sanction. Disciplinary action taken by the referee. Save. An action by a player to stop or attempt to stop the ball when it is going into or very close to the goal using any part of the body except the hands, arms. Sending off. Disciplinary action when a player is required to leave the field for the remainder of the match having committed a sending off offense. If the match has started, the player cannot be replaced. A team official may also be sent off. Serious foul play. A tackle or challenge for the ball that endangers the safety of an opponent or uses excessive force or brutality, punishable by a sending off. Shin guard. A piece of equipment worn to help protect a player's shin from injury. Players are responsible for wearing shin guards made of a suitable material and of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection, and they must be covered by the socks. Shirt. A garment worn over a player's upper body as part of a team's uniform. Apart from the length of the sleeves, the shirts of all players in a team are the same, except for the goalkeeper, whose shirt distinguishes them from the other players and the match officials. Signal. Physical indication from the referee or any match official, usually involves movement of the hand or arm or flag, or use of the whistle. Simulation. An action which creates a wrong, false impression that something has occurred when it has not, committed by a player to gain an unfair advantage. Spirit of the game. The main essential principles ethos of football as a sport, but also within a particular match. Suspend. To stop a match for a period of time with the intention of eventually restarting play, e.g. due to fog, heavy rain, thunderstorm, serious injury. T. Tackle. A challenge for the ball with the foot. Team list. Official team document usually listing the players, substitutes, and team officials. Team official. Any non-player listed on the official team list, e.g. coach, physiotherapist, doctor. Technical area. Defined area for the team officials which includes seating. Technical staff. Official non-playing team members listed on the official team list, e.g. coach, physiotherapist, doctor. Temporary dismissal. A temporary suspension from the next part of the match for a player guilty of some all cautionable offenses. U. Undue interference. Action influence which is unnecessary, unsporting behavior. Unfair action behavior, punishable by a caution. V. Violent conduct. An action which is not a challenge for the ball, which uses or attempts to use excessive force or brutality against an opponent, or when a player deliberately strikes someone on the head or face unless the force used is negligible. Match official. General term for person or persons responsible for controlling a football match on behalf of a football association and or competition under whose jurisdiction the match is played. Referee. The main match official for a match who operates on the field of play. Other match officials operate under the referee's control and direction. The referee is the final ultimate decision maker. Other match officials on field. Match officials. Competitions may appoint other match officials to assist the referee. Assistant referee. A match official with a flag positioned on one half of each touchline to assist the referee, particularly with offside situations and goal kick, corner kick, throw-in decisions. Fourth official. A match official with responsibility for assisting the referee with both on-field and off-field matters, including overseeing the technical area, controlling substitutes, etc. Additional assistant referee. A match official positioned on the goal line to assist the referee particularly with situations in around the penalty area and goal-no-goal decisions. Referee terms. Reserve assistant referee. A match official who will replace an assistant who is unable to continue and who has responsibility for assisting the referee with both on-field and off-field matters, including overseeing the technical area, controlling substitutes, etc. Video match officials. These are the VAR and AVAR who assist the referee in accordance with the laws of the game and the VAR protocol. Video assistant referee. A current or former referee appointed to assist the referee by communicating information from replay footage only in relation to a clear and obvious error or serious missed incident in one of the reviewable categories. Assistant video assistant referee. A current or former referee assistant referee appointed to assist the video assistant referee. Practical guidelines for match officials. Introduction. These guidelines contain practical advice for match officials which supplements the information in the laws of the game section. Reference is made in Law 5 to referees operating within the framework of the laws of the game and the spirit of the game. Referees are expected to use common sense and to apply the spirit of the game when applying the laws of the game, especially when making decisions relating to whether a match takes place and/or continues. This is especially true for the lower levels of football where it may not always be possible for the law to be strictly applied. For example, unless there are safety issues, the referee should allow a game to continue if one or more corner flags are missing, there is a minor inaccuracy with the markings on the field of play such as the corner area, center circle, etc. The goalpost's crossbar are not white. In such cases, the referee should, with the agreement of the teams, continue the match and must submit a report to the appropriate authorities. Key. AR equals assistant referee, AAR equals additional assistant referee. Positioning, movement and teamwork. 1. General positioning and movement. The best position is one from which the referee can make the correct decision. All recommendations about positioning must be adjusted using specific information about the teams, the players, and events in the match. The positions recommended in the graphics are basic guidelines. The recommended positions are areas within which the referee is likely to be most effective. These areas may be larger, smaller, or differently shaped depending on the exact match circumstances. Recommendations. The play should be between the referee and the lead AR. The lead AR should be in the referee's field of vision, so the referee should usually use a wide diagonal system. Staying towards the outside of the play makes it easier to keep play and the lead AR in the referee's field of vision. The referee should be close enough to see play without interfering with play. What needs to be seen is not always in the vicinity of the ball. The referee should also pay attention to player confrontations off the ball, possible offenses in the area towards which play is moving, offenses occurring after the ball is played away. Referee. Additional assistant referee number 2. Additional assistant referee number 1. Positioning of assistant referees and additional assistant referees. The AR must be in line with the second last defender or the ball if it is nearer to the goal line than the second last defender. The AR must always face the field of play, even when running. Side-to-side movement should be used for short distances. This is especially important when judging offside as it gives the AR a better line of vision. The AAR position is behind the goal line except where it is necessary to move onto the goal line to judge a goal-no-goal situation. The AAR is not allowed to enter the field of play unless there are exceptional circumstances. Goalkeeper. Referee. Defender. Assistant referee. Attacker. Additional assistant referee. 2. Positioning and teamwork consultation. When dealing with disciplinary issues, eye contact and a basic discreet hand signal from the AR to the referee may be sufficient. When direct consultation is required, the AR may advance 2-3 meters onto the field of play if necessary. When talking, the referee and AR should both face the field of play to avoid being heard by others and to observe the players and field of play. Corner kick. The AR's position for a corner kick is behind the corner flag in line with the goal line, but the AR must not interfere with the player taking the corner kick and must check that the ball is properly placed in the corner area. Free kick. The AR's position for a free kick must be in line with the second last defender to check the offside line. However, the AR must be ready to follow the ball by moving down the touchline towards the corner flag if there is a direct shot on goal. Goalkeeper, defender, attacker, referee. Goalkeeper, defender, attacker, referee. Goal, no goal. When a goal has been scored and there is no doubt about the decision, the referee and assistant referee must make eye contact and the assistant referee must then move quickly 25-30 meters along the touchline towards the halfway line without raising the flag. When a goal has been scored but the ball appears still to be in play, the assistant referee must first raise the flag to attract the referee's attention, then continue with the normal goal procedure of running quickly 25-30 meters along the touchline towards the halfway line. On occasions when the whole of the ball does not cross the goal line and play continues as normal because a goal has not been scored, the referee must make eye contact with the assistant referee and if necessary give a discreet hand signal. Goal kick. The AR must first check if the ball is inside the goal area. If the ball is not placed correctly, the AR must not move from the position and must make eye contact with the referee and raise the flag. Once the ball is placed correctly inside the goal area, the AR must take a position to check the offside line. However, if there is an AAR, the AR should take up a position in line with the offside line and the AAR must be positioned at the intersection of the goal line and the goal area, and check if the ball is placed inside the goal area. If the ball is not placed correctly, the AAR must communicate this to the referee. Goalkeeper releasing the ball. The AR must take a position in line with the edge of the penalty area and check that the goalkeeper does not handle the ball outside the penalty area. Once the goalkeeper has released the ball, the AR must take a position to check the offside line. Kickoff. The ARs must be in line with the second last defender. Goalkeeper, defender, attacker, referee. Penalties. One AR must be positioned at the intersection of the goal line and the goal area. The other AR must be situated in the center circle to control the players. If there are AARs, they must be positioned at each intersection of the goal line and the goal area, to the right and left of the goal respectively, except where GLT is in use when only one AAR is required. In this case, AAR2 and AR1 should monitor the players in the center circle and AR2 and the fourth official should monitor the technical areas. AARs. No AAR. AARs. No AAR. Penalty kick. The AR must be positioned at the intersection of the goal line and the penalty area. Where there are AARs, the AAR must be positioned at the intersection of the goal line and the goal area and the AR is positioned in line with the penalty mark. Mass confrontation. In situations of mass confrontation, the nearest AR may enter the field of play to assist the referee. The other AR must observe and record details of the incident. The fourth official should remain in the vicinity of the technical areas. Required distance. When a free kick is awarded very close to the AR may enter the field of play to help ensure that the players are positioned 9.15 m from the ball. In this case, the referee must wait until the AR is back in position before restarting play. Substitution. If there is no fourth official, the AR moves to the halfway line to assist with the substitution procedure. The referee must wait until the AR is back in position before restarting play. If there is a fourth official, the AR does not need to move to the halfway line as the fourth official carries out the substitution procedure unless there are several substitutions at the same time, in which case the AR moves to the halfway line to assist the fourth official. 1. Referee's body language. Body language is a tool that the referee uses to help control the match, show authority and self-control. Body language is not an explanation of a decision. Signals. See Law 5 for diagrams of signals. Whistle. The whistle is needed to start play, after a goal, stop play. For a free kick or penalty kick if the match is suspended or abandoned at the end of each half, restart play. For free kicks when the appropriate distance is required, penalty kicks, restart play after it has been stopped for a caution or sending off. Body language, communication and whistle. Injury substitution. The whistle is not needed to stop play for a clear, goal kick, corner kick, throw-in or goal, restart play from most free kicks, and a goal kick, corner kick, throw-in or dropped ball. A whistle which is used too frequently unnecessarily will have less impact when it is needed. If the referee wants the player to wait for the whistle before restarting play from the ball at a free kick, the referee must clearly inform the attacking player to wait for the whistle. If the referee blows the whistle in error and play stops, play is restarted with a dropped ball. 2. Assistant referee's beep signal. The beep signal system is an additional signal which is only used to gain the referee's attention. Situations when the signal beep may be useful include offside, offenses, throw-in, corner kick, goal kick or goal. Electronic communication system. Where an electronic communication system is used, the referee will advise the ARs as to when it may be appropriate to use the communication system with, or instead of, a physical signal. Flag technique. The AR's flag must always be unfurled and visible to the referee. This usually means the flag is carried in the hand closest to the referee. When making a signal, the AR stops running, faces the field of play, makes eye contact with the referee and raises the flag with a deliberate motion. The flag should be like an extension of the arm. The ARs must raise the flag using the hand that will be used for the next signal. If circumstances change and the other hand must be used, the AR should move the flag to the opposite hand below the waist. If the AR signals that the ball is out of play, the signal must be maintained until the referee acknowledges it. If the AR signals for a sending off offense and the signal is not seen immediately. If play has been stopped, the restart may be changed in accordance with the laws. If play has restarted, the referee may still take disciplinary action but not penalize the offense with a free kick or penalty kick. Gestures. As a general rule, the AR should not use obvious hand signals. However, in some instances, a discreet hand signal may assist the referee. The hand signal should have a clear meaning which should have been agreed in the pre-match discussion. Signals. See Law 6 for diagrams of signals. Corner kick, goal kick. When the ball wholly passes over the goal line, the AR raises the flag with the right hand to inform the referee that the ball is out of play, and then if it is near to the AR, indicate whether it is a goal kick or a corner kick. Far from the AR, make eye contact and follow the referee's decision. When the ball clearly passes over the goal line, the AR does not need to raise the flag to indicate that the ball has left the field of play. If the goal kick or corner kick decision is obvious, it is not necessary to give a signal, especially when the referee gives a signal. Fouls. The AR must raise the flag when a foul or misconduct is committed in the immediate vicinity or out of the referee's vision. In all other situations, the AR must wait and offer an opinion if it is required and then inform the referee of what was seen and heard and which players were involved. Before signaling for an offense, the AR must determine that the offense was out of the referee's view or the referee's view was obstructed. The referee would not have applied the advantage. When an offense occurs which requires a signal from the AR must raise the flag with the same hand that will also be used for the remainder of the signal. This gives the referee a clear indication as to who will be awarded the free kick. Make eye contact with the referee, give the flag a slight wave back and forth. The AR must use the wait and see technique to allow play to continue and not raise the flag when the team against which an offense has been committed will benefit from the advantage. It is therefore very important for the AR to make eye contact with the referee. Fouls inside the penalty area. When a foul is committed by a defender inside the penalty area out of the vision of the referee, especially if near to the AR's position, the AR must first make eye contact with the referee to see where the referee is positioned and what action has been taken. If the referee has not taken any action, the AR must signal with the flag, use the electronic beep signal, and then visibly move down the touchline towards the corner flag. Fouls outside the penalty area. When a foul is committed by a defender outside the penalty area, the AR should make eye contact with the referee to see the referee's position and what action has been taken, and signal with the flag if necessary. In counterattack situations, the AR should be able to give information such as whether or not a foul has been committed and whether a foul was committed inside or outside the penalty area, and what disciplinary action should be taken. The AR should make a clear movement along the touchline towards the halfway line to indicate when the offense took place outside the penalty area. Goal, no goal. When it is clear that the ball has wholly passed over the goal line in the goal, the AR must make eye contact with the referee without giving any additional signal. When a goal has been scored but it is not clear whether the ball has passed over the line, the AR must first raise the flag to attract the referee's attention and then confirm the goal. Offside. The first action of the AR for an offside decision is to raise the flag and then, if the referee stops play, use the flag to indicate the area of the field of play in which the offense occurred. If the flag is not immediately seen by the referee, the AR must maintain the signal until it has been acknowledged or the ball is clearly in the control of the defending team. Penalty kick. If the goalkeeper blatantly moves off the goal line before the ball is kicked and prevents a goal from being scored, the AR should indicate the encroachment according to the pre-match instructions from the referee. Substitution. Once the AR has been informed that a substitution is requested, the AR must signal this to the referee at the next stoppage. Throw-in. When the ball wholly passes over the touchline. Near to the AR, a direct signal should be made to indicate the direction of the throw-in. Far from the AR and the throw-in decision is an obvious one. The AR must make a direct signal to indicate the direction of the throw-in. Far from the AR and the AR is in doubt about the direction of the throw-in. The AR must raise the flag to inform the referee that the ball is out of play, make eye contact with the referee and follow the referee's signal. 3. Additional assistant referees. The AARs use a radio communication system to communicate with the referee. If the radio communication system fails to work, the AARs will use an electronic signal beep flagstick. AARs do not usually use obvious hand signals, but, in some instances, a discrete hand signal may give valuable support to the referee. The hand signal should have a clear meaning and such signals should be agreed in the pre-match discussion. The AAR, having assessed that the ball has wholly passed over the goal line within the goal, must immediately inform the referee via the communication system that a goal should be awarded. Make a clear signal with the left arm perpendicular to the goal line pointing towards the center of the field. This signal is not required when the ball has very clearly passed over the goal line. The referee will make the final decision. Other advice. 1. Advantage. The referee may play advantage whenever an offense occurs but should consider the following in deciding whether to apply the advantage or stop play. The severity of the offense. If the offense warrants a sending off, the referee must stop play and send off the player unless there is a clear opportunity to score a goal. The position where the offense was committed, the closer to the opponent's goal. The more effective the advantage can be, the chances of an immediate, promising attack the atmosphere of the match. 2. Allowance for time lost. Many stoppages in play are entirely natural. An allowance is made only when delays are excessive. 3. Holding an opponent. Referees are reminded to make an early intervention and to deal firmly with holding offenses, especially inside the penalty area at corner kicks and free kicks. To deal with these situations, the referee must warn any player holding an opponent before the ball is in play. Caution the player if the holding continues before the ball is in play. Award a direct free kick or penalty kick, and caution the player if it happens once the ball is in play. An attacker in an offside position, not interfering with an opponent, touches the ball. The assistant referee must raise the flag when the player touches the ball. An attacker in an offside position, not interfering with an opponent, does not touch the ball. The player did not touch the ball, so cannot be penalized. 4. Offside. LAWSOF The Game 202-324 Practical Guidelines for Match of FI CIALS. A player in an offside position may be penalized before playing or touching the ball if, in the opinion of the referee, no other teammate in an onside position has the opportunity to play the ball. An attacker in an offside position runs towards the ball and a teammate in an onside position also runs towards the ball and plays it. Did not touch the ball, so cannot be penalized. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Interfering with play. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Interfering with play. An attacker in an offside position runs towards the ball and does not touch the ball. The assistant referee must signal goal kick. An attacker in an offside position is clearly obstructing the goalkeeper's line of vision. The player must be penalized for preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Interfering with play. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Interfering with an opponent. An attacker in an offside position runs towards the ball but does not prevent the opponent from playing or being able to play the ball. Is not challenging an opponent for the ball. An attacker in an offside position is not clearly obstructing the goalkeeper's line of vision or challenging an opponent for the ball. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Interfering with an opponent. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Interfering with an opponent. An attacker in an offside position runs towards the ball, preventing the opponent from playing or being able to play the ball by challenging the opponent for the ball. Is challenging an opponent for the ball. An attacker in an offside position is penalized for playing or touching the ball that rebounds, is deflected, or is played from a deliberate save by the goalkeeper, having been in an offside position when the ball was last touched, or is played by a teammate. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Interfering with an opponent. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Gaining advantage. The shot by a teammate rebounds from the goalkeeper, is in an onside position and plays the ball in an offside position, is not penalized because the player did not gain an advantage from being in that position because the player did not touch the ball. An attacker in an offside position is penalized for playing or touching the ball that rebounds or is deflected from a deliberate save by a player from the defending team, having been in an offside position when the ball was last touched or is played by a teammate. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Gaining advantage. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Gaining advantage. The shot by a teammate rebounds off or is deflected by an opponent to attacker, who is penalized for playing or touching the ball having previously been in an offside position. An attacker is in an offside position, not interfering with an opponent, when a teammate passes the ball to player in an onside position who runs towards the opponent's goal and passes the ball to teammate. Attacker was in an onside position when the ball was passed, so cannot be penalized. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Gaining advantage. Movement of the player. Movement of the ball. Gaining advantage. 5. Injuries. The safety of the players is of paramount importance, and the referee should facilitate the work of the medical personnel, especially in the case of a serious injury and or an assessment of a head injury. This will include respecting and assisting with agreed assessment treatment protocols. 6. Treatment assessment after a caution sending off. Previously, an injured player who received medical attention on the field of play had to leave before the restart. This can be unfair if an opponent caused the injury, as the offending team has a numerical advantage when play restarts. However, this requirement was introduced because players often unsportingly used an injury to delay the restart for tactical reasons. As a balance between these two unfair situations, the IFAB has decided that only for a physical offense where the opponent is cautioned or sent off, an injured player can be quickly assessed, treated, and then remain on the field of play. In principle, the delay should not be any longer than currently occurs when a medical person comes onto the field to assess an injury. The difference is that the point at which the referee used to require the medical person and the player to leave is now the point at which the medical staff leave, but the player can remain. To ensure the injured player does not extend the delay unfairly, referees are advised to be aware of the match situation and any potential tactical reason to delay the restart. Inform the injured player that if medical treatment is required, it must be quick. Signal for the medical person and, if possible, remind them to be quick. When the referee decides play should restart, either the medical person leaves and the player remains, or the player leaves for further assessment treatment. As a general guide, the restart should not be delayed for more than about 20-25 seconds beyond the point when everyone was ready for play to restart, except in the case of a serious injury and or an assessment of a head injury. The referee must make full allowance for the stoppage.